Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is January 1st, 2024. It's Monday. It's the Sugar Bowl. Can you believe it? We are back again. The Texas Longhorns versus the Washington Huskies. I just got done doing the Michigan game, and I just got prepped. It looks like just quick enough right before kickoff. Come and join your boy. Let's freaking go. Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, January 1st, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Sugar Bowl, baby. Texas Longhorns versus the Washington Huskies. Kickoff is just imminent. It's going to happen here in a few seconds. Let's go. Congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines. Me and Sarah are so far 1 for 1 in our picks. You know, winning in OT, a big win for Michigan, 27-20. I don't know what the hell that Milroe run was at the end, but we got the Huskies as a 3.5-point underdog, and here we go. Good thing I work fast, otherwise I would have been late for the kickoff. Wow, look at Texas run. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Quinn Ewers on the left, Michael Penix Jr. on the right. Your boy sitting in the chair 8 hours straight. Let's hit the goal. Let's get the likes. Let's get the subs. Let's get the views. Let's get the donos. Sugar Bowl, baby. Let's go. James, Matt, Eddie, Sarah. Let's go, baby. First down and 10. Shotgun set. Ewers. That might have been a false start. Hopefully we can hit the goal on this stream. All right, we got Pac-12. Big 12. Let's go. First down and 15 off the false start. Man in motion. Ewers. Floater almost picked off. Sarah, what do you think about the background on this one? This one looks good too, huh? It took me some time to be able to kind of put shit together, but I feel that both of the backgrounds, I wanted to make them different than the thumbnail. And I really like how this one turned out too, especially with me right in the middle, so that way I'm not blocking Ewers or Penix Jr. Oh, big run. Wow, first down, Longhorns through the chains. And I like this one too because I got the Texas spinning logo and the Washington. I wasn't able to find the Bama one, but I obviously had the Michigan one. But they don't have too many. You know, like I said, with the college football, you got to really dig for them. Shotgun set, play action fake, Ewers, incomplete. Fire. You know, your boy puts in a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, tears. We had 2,500 views on that last stream. I wish we could have got a little bit more support with the likes, the subs, and the donos, but at least we got that number, so that's a good start. Pass incomplete, batted down by the Huskies. Let's go, baby. Dogs, baby. Yeah, no SEC natty, right? Third down and 10. Let's go, Huskies. I love him. My favorite quarterback in the draft. You know, like I said, I'm a Duck fan, but Michael Penix Jr. is my favorite player in college football this year. So I don't know, most Duck fans would never say something like that, but I'm not a hater. Like if I like someone, I like them no matter what team they're on, even if they're on the Beavers or on the Cougars or the Huskies or the Trojans. If I like you, I like you. Yours? Incomplete. There we go, baby. With the amount of people that we had in that last stream, we should have got to at least 40. But again, you get a lot of looky-loos that are watching, but they just don't want to support. So, I mean, it takes fucking 1 second to hit the like button, regardless if you're going to stay there or not. I mean, we can get 20 likes with fucking 100 total views or 200. So. But it all depends if it's going to be like regulars and people that we know or people that we don't know. Texas with the punt. Appreciate that. But I like Michael Penix Jr. a lot. Like I said, I like Quinn Ewers. I like Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Drake May. I mean, Shedeur Sanders. There's so many quarterbacks that have showed out this year. But the bottom line is, some of them are going to pan out. Some of them are going to be mid or average, and some won't pan out until they get to their second team because their team is so shitty that they might have to go somewhere else. Like maybe even like a Bryce Young in the past draft. He might not be able to succeed there, but maybe if he goes to another team, down the road, maybe he'll be able to revitalize his career unless they build around him properly. Michael Penix Jr. I mean, it depends on how far they go. If they end up winning this game and they win the Natty, Michael Penix Jr. could go as high as number one. Will he go number one? Probably not. I would assume that he'll go top 20 picks, but it just depends on how many quarterbacks come out, right? Because you got Caleb Williams and you got Drake May, who people think are going to go in the 2 of the top 4 picks, right? And then you got guys like Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. that might go later, somewhere between maybe 15 to 25 in the first round. And then there's going to be a couple other quarterbacks that might be floating around there as well. So, it's tough to say on how many quarterbacks will go in the first round. We could have 4. We could have as high as 6 or 7. I mean, I'm not really too sure. Or maybe we get 4 or 5 in the first round, or 1 and 2 in the early second round. But regardless if you're the first pick in the draft or if you go 20th overall, if Michael Penix Jr. gets picked up by like the Vikings, not only do you get to keep wearing the purple, but that would almost be the perfect spot for him. I would love to have him on my Buccaneers, Michael Penix Jr., but I think the Vikings would be the best fit for him. Jay Jetta, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, you need a better running back than Madison, and you need an O-line, and you need a defense, right? You need a lot on Minnesota. But if you could think of one team that Michael Penix Jr. could fit with, to me, it's the Minnesota Vikings. So, because up to the point of last game against the Saints, he did shitty there, but up to prior to that, he didn't have any turnovers. He was playing good. It looks like he's going to lead us to the playoffs, even if it's a 9-8 record. So based on the organization and what they've said, and with maybe an extension with the contract and what they're looking at, I assume that Baker will be around for the next couple years, and they may bring in a free agent or a rookie to battle with him. But I feel that Baker has earned the right to come back to Tampa next year. He's been good this year overall. Has he had some bad games like against the Saints? Fuck yeah. Piss me off. You know what I mean? But overall, Baker has exceeded the expectations. He's been better than people thought. Like Russell Wilson, too. He's been better than people thought this year. People thought Russ was going to suck. They thought Baker was going to suck. And if you look at their touchdown to interception ratio, they're actually playing pretty fucking good this year. You might not like Baker because of his attitude. You might not like Russ. I get it. But if we're just talking stats and stats alone, both of those guys showed out this year. Especially when we had no expectations for either one. Penix Jr., first down and 10. Floater. Best quarterback in the draft, baby. Go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Your boy knows talent. The only thing that's going to hold back Michael Penix Jr. is himself and injuries. You know, he had like 4 or 5 straight years with like an ACL tear or some type of season ending injury. So he's been healthy the last 2 years. And as long as he can stay healthy, he's got the intelligence, he's got the arm, he's got all the things that you want in a franchise quarterback. It's just that hopefully he doesn't get hurt. You know, and he makes plays like that on the regular. Oh yeah, I'm always going to be honest and real. You know, like I was telling with Sarah when you guys were all, loving Jonathan, Taylor, and then when he wanted more money, you guys were like, "Fuck it, get him out of there." Touchdown, Huskies! But it shows you how important he is to the organization. Huskies, baby, Huskies, baby. What did I tell you about that long ball? I told you. Yours will do it too, but it's not as pretty or as accurate as Michael Penix Jr. Huskies, Wolverines, and then hopefully the Huskies win it all. That'll be a harder challenge, though, because the Michigan defense is so good. So instead of Michael Penix Jr. getting 4 or 5 touchdowns, which we may see tonight, he might only have 2 against Michigan. But hopefully they get a little bit of a running game if they end up advancing tonight. And if they can get that and a little bit of defense, Washington can win the Natty. It'll be hard. They'll be the underdog like they are today. But hell, they're 3.5 point underdog. Bang, 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 7-0. O-Dog knows football. Move the chains. Let's go. Let's go. And that's why it's good not to be biased. You look at talent, and just talent alone, regardless if they're a rival to you. And like I said, it's not like I've been on this Michael Penix Jr. bandwagon as of late. You go back and look at the film at the very beginning of the year. They're like, "Who do you like? You like Bo Nix or you like Michael Penix Jr. or who do you like?" And I said Michael Penix Jr. Even though I'm a Duck fan and I've been a Duck fan since the '80s, I said Michael Penix Jr. to me is my favorite player in college football in 2023. 2024. Like I said, I only have had 2 other guys that I felt like this about. Michael Vick when he was at Virginia Tech, Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel at A&M. Now, obviously, they didn't have the NFL careers that they did in college, but I think Michael Penix Jr. has a chance to even be better than Michael Vick, better than Tua. Maybe not as good as Steve Young, but somewhere in between Steve Young and Tua and Michael Vick. Like somewhere in that general range. And if Michael Penix Jr. goes to Minnesota, and they beef up that O line, think about him throwing to Jetta, with that big long spiral, lefty and lefty. We'll have a Tua in the NFC. It'd be pretty sweet, And then you have Miami and Minnesota going at it, lefty quarterback, lefty quarterback. That's must see TV. Jordan Addison from Michael Penix Jr., Hawkinson from Michael Penix Jr. I mean, it'd be a fantasy dream, right? And if you think about it, you can kind of picture it in your head. And that's what you want to be able to find with players. Where can you implement a player, visualize, close your eyes, and can you visualize Michael Penix Jr. throwing to Jetta, Addison, Hawkinson? I can. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but if they end up drafting Penix Jr. around 20th, 15 to 25, depending on what happens tonight, I could see that. But maybe Michael Penix Jr. goes as high as number 1 overall if he wins this game in very exuberant fashion. Like, let's say he gets 5 touchdowns, no picks, and throws for like 350 yards. His stock is going to go up. Then if they don't go to the Michigan and they play in the Natty, let's say he goes for 3 touchdowns and no picks for 312 yards. You don't think that there's a chance that they might take him number 1, or in the top 5? Because most people think he's not a top 5 quarterback. Caleb Williams and Drake May are more NFL ready. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure if I trust those guys. So it all depends. And sometimes it's better to go lower in the draft because if you go lower in the draft, that means the team that has better weapons. It's a better supporting cast. So it's like if you end up being like the Aaron Rodgers, where you're waiting and waiting, and you could have went number 1 overall, but if you end up going a little bit later in the draft and you find that team that's a good fit, you might be able to blow out and show out right away. So Bo Nix, I think Tampa Bay would be a good fit because Bo Nix plays like Baker. So if you think about Bo Nix, as long as Mike Evans stays on Tampa, but if you had Bo Nix going to Mike Evans, Bo Nix going to Godwin, I mean, he could probably be at least average. He might not be great. He might not be top 5 or top 10 ever, but he might be someone that could be a top 15 quarterback in this league, which a lot of these rookies are going to try to do. They're going to try to be a top 15 quarterback. So let's go. Let's get to 100 and donuts, baby. 7-0 Huskies. Am I surprised? No, I'm not. Thanks to Matt and Sarah helping out and Cyberpunk on the stream on this one and the other one. Had about 70 viewers on the Twitter X side on the last game. I imagine we'll have quite a few here. And this will have a good opportunity for us to be able to get over 2,000 views on this game also. Nice game there by Texas. Washington reminds you of LSU 2019. LSU 2019 was better. Burrow, Jamar Chase, Jay Jetta, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, that LSU team was one of the best teams ever compiled. You know, not saying that Washington isn't. I mean, if they end up going all the way, they'll be definitely considered. You know what I mean? But Georgia, Bama teams are pretty special. And you got to think, Washington's defense and Texas's defense, they're not in the same category as Georgia, Bama, or Michigan. So that's why we're going to see bigger plays in this game. The first game is going to be a lot of, ground and pound and defense. And that's why we got that 27-20 game. This one will probably be like a 38-35 game where it's going to be touchdown, maybe some field goals, but then it might come down to the wire unless Washington blows them out. So we'll find out. I mean, I know Oregon, if they were in this game against Texas, I know we would be able to hang with Texas or possibly beat them too. The Pac-12 is strong this year. We had the strongest conference this year. You know what I mean? Regardless if you want to admit it or not, I mean, we had 8 top 25 teams. It was the best that we've ever been. So, but again, whenever a conference does good when they haven't been normally good, people just want to shit on them, acting like, same old thing, same old Pac-12, same old Big Ten. But now you're starting to notice that the SEC is not in the natty, and it kind of feels nice. We already know Georgia and Bama are great. They've had their time, and now it's time for a Big Ten, Big 12, or a Pac-12 team to take the reins, even if it's just for 1 year. And then it's just going to be the Big Ten and the SEC as the two super conferences moving forward. Pump fake, yours. Nowhere to go. Gain of about 4. What you know about get the gat? What you know about that? Yes, I did. Yeah, I know that she wasn't there. I know. They came up on my Facebook feed too. It's been a good day today. Ducks won against Liberty. The Kraken won the Winter Classic, at T-Mobile outside 3-0 against the Vegas Golden Knights. We got to see an amazing Michigan game, 27-20, even though I'm not sure if they deserved to win because they played sloppy, but they were good enough. And then now we get this amazing Washington-Texas matchup. And this is the first time in the college football playoff where I feel that even though I felt that Washington and Michigan were going to win, that it was the most even matchup where you didn't really know for sure. And that's what college football is about, But again, if it's not in the Final Four in the college football playoff, all the other games are pretty much meaningless because everyone opts out or is injured or doesn't want to play or goes to another school and transfers, which is a very alarming thing. Oh, helmet comes off by Washington. Wow. Shout out to all the people on Twitter/X that are watching. Shout out to all the people that are watching here as well. I love you and I appreciate you. Let's get those likes up. Let's try to get to 20 sooner than later. Let's see if we can hit the goal on this stream too. Finley in the building. What's good? I literally only had like 5 minutes to prep. Thank God I was able to go quick. Shotgun set for yours. Touchdown, Longhorns. This game is going to be back and forth. The defenses are nowhere near the same level as Georgia, Bama, or Michigan. Not even in the same stratosphere. So it's going to be good. If you like offense, this is the game for you, which is pretty much 99% of the country. There's not a lot of people that like running the football in mud and defense. I'm a defensive guy, but even with me being a defensive guy, I don't want to see a 9-6 game. I want points. I want to have some explosive plays too. So nice job by Ewers in Texas there. And for all the people that are in the room, take a second and smash that like button for your boy. It helps with the analytics and the metrics. I shouldn't have 2,500 people watching with only 20 likes, which is ridiculous. And like I said, if you don't want to comment, you don't want to donate, that's fine. But if you can do me a solid and just like the stream, that's going to help with analytics and metrics moving forward. So for the people that are watching on Twitter and X, they would have to come here and do it. But if you're in the room, do your boy a solid and just hit the like button if you can't do anything else. It'll definitely help us out. 7-7. We're knotted up, baby. All right, Washington, your turn. Go, baby. All right, Huskies, your turn. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas as well as a happy holidays as well. You got the over? There's going to be a lot of points scored. My prediction going into the game was going to be 38-35. And I thought the first game was going to be 23-20. So I was pretty close on the first one. So I'll turn off the music for now, but if, as the broadcast goes on, I usually just put it on during the commercial breaks. So that way we have something in the background. But if people want me to have the music in the background throughout the whole stream, just comment below. And based on what people say, I can have the background music on the whole stream, or we can just have it on during the commercial breaks. You guys just let me know what you want, and then I got you. All right, Texas kicking off. What a fantastic day of sports, man. Ducks beating Liberty, Kraken winning the Winter Classic over the Vegas Golden Knights, 3-0, fucking nuts, right? And then we got Michigan beating Bama 27-20 in OT. And then another game that might end up going to OT or going down to the wire with the Longhorns and the Huskies. What a great way to finish off, the first day of 2024. Wild. All right, first down and 10. Shotgun set for Michael Penix Jr. Got the best spiral in college football by a landslide. Little screen pass. But that's why, it's so important not to be biased. Every other channel that's out there, they got their favorite players, they got their favorite team. Everyone's biased as shit. You know what I mean? Like, how many Duck fans that have been fans since the 80s would say that Michael Penix Jr. is their favorite player, even over Bo Nix? Like, nobody. I'm probably the only one on earth that would say that. But, I know talent when I see it, and we lost to them by 3 twice. And Michael Penix Jr. is a better quarterback to me. Like, I think he's got a little bit more upside. Now, is it possible that they both don't pan out in the NFL? Yeah, they both could also pan out. But I don't necessarily see like Bo Nix as being a superstar. I see him being kind of like a Baker Mayfield. And then, with Michael Penix Jr., I see a little bit higher of an upside, better than a Tua, maybe not as good as a Steve Young, better than a Vic, better than a Tua, maybe not as good as Steve Young, but somewhere in the middle. So, Ashley in the building, what's good? 3rd down and 4. Man in motion. Looks like they call an audible at the play there, and they might be going from man to zone. Let's see what they do here. 3rd down and 4. Shotgun set. Good protection up front by the Huskies O-line. Penix. Bootleg rolling to his left, looking for a man. Incomplete. Play was kind of fucked from the very beginning there. Now, comment below who you guys think is going to win tonight. I know it's early, but at least it's 7-7, so you don't have to say the team that's winning because we're tied. Are you a Longhorns fan, or you just think the Longhorns are going to win? Oh, wow. Oh, good shoestring tackle there. He was really slippery though out of that first tackle. Yeah, so I got Michigan and obviously the Huskies, and that prediction was quite a while back. So we'll see how it goes. Longhorns in the over. I think a lot of people also too didn't really watch Washington that much either. A lot of people that are in the middle part of the country or the East Coast or the South, they don't really watch the Pac-12 that often. But for us on the Pac-12, we watch Pac-12, but we watch everybody else. So we'll find out. Both defenses are suspect at times. Both defenses, can make big plays. And both quarterbacks are NFL. There is no doubt about it. You know what I mean? But we'll find out who ends up being the better quarterback. And at the end of the day, we'll probably end up finding out that Michael Penix Jr. Slightly a little bit better. Maybe not Bo Nix level, but we will find out. Sooner fan rooting for the Longhorns. Like me being a Duck fan thinking that Washington's going to win, it's just if that's what you feel. How now, be honest, how many Washington games did you actually watch this year? Any? Did you watch any games from beginning to end? Be honest. Because obviously if you're an Oklahoma fan, you probably ended up watching some Texas matchups other than when they, ended up, playing you, like in the Red River Shootout and whatnot, right? And me being a Duck fan, I got, Dylan Gabriel, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. But for a lot of us that have watched, both teams extensively, I feel, a lot of times you're going to lean to whatever you feel comfortable with, but I just like being able to watch a shitload of college football. It doesn't matter if it's SEC, it doesn't matter if it's Big Ten, the Pac-12, the Big 12, the MAC, the WAC, the ACC. As long as I find talent there, I'm good to go. So. I feel like a majority of America didn't really watch the Pac-12 this year. A lot of the people that are in other areas of the United States. So it's like, oh, same old Pac-12. But if you have that mentality, you'll soon realize that the Pac-12 this year was very strong. And even if it was Oregon playing in this game, Oregon would have a good chance of beating Texas still. We were the real deal this year. We're not going to be good every year. Hell, this is the Pac-12's last year. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a Husky snack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. But what I will tell you is that when the Pac-12 is good, we're really, really good. It's not going to be every year. It's going to be once in a while. And then when we have really, really good teams, we're going to be really, really good. We're not going to be like some of these other schools like Georgia and Bama and Michigan and Ohio State that are just good every year. But what I will tell you is that if you ever doubt a Pac-12 team that's good, you'll soon find out how good they really are. Second down and 16. Shotgun set. Ewers. Handoff. Gain of a couple. Washington's defense playing pretty good here so far. I mean, it is 7-7, but they look like they're a little bit more stout up front. And with their speed skill players, we'll find out. Both teams got great quarterback, that can put up points on the board. Third down and 14. SEC overrated all season. I agree. Normally they're the best. There's no doubt about it. They normally, kick the shit out of Michigan and Ohio State every year, right? It's like, you got Georgia, you got Bama, you got Michigan, you got Ohio State. And then you're like, oh, Michigan, Ohio State undefeated. And then they go in there and play Georgia and Bama and hang for 2 quarters, and then they get blown out by like 30. And that was kind of the story every single year. But now, with Georgia out of it, even though they probably should have been in it over Texas, and then Bama losing, now you're going to get a Big 10, Big 12, or Pac-12 champion for the first time in a long, long time. Because if Texas ends up beating Washington, they're not beating Michigan, right? But if Washington wins, they have a chance. That's just my personal opinion. I think Texas has got offense to keep up with Michigan, but the defense, I don't think they have the defense strong enough, with Michigan. But Washington's defense is suspect at times too, but I think I trust Washington a little bit more this year, especially with Michael Penix Jr. Like, I know you got Xavier Worthy, and you guys got some pretty good players on that side as well, but trust is everything, just like in fantasy. Yours? There was a hold on the Texas O-line. That's coming back. Holding. The ratings, if it's not going to be Bama, Georgia, they're going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I mean, like I said, there's going to be some of the, SEC people that only are going to watch the SEC or whatever. But, I mean, the only reason that the ratings will be low is because everyone opting out and everyone transferring. Like, the whole college bowl landscape is terrible. If you're not in this game or the last game, or Oregon playing Liberty, everyone didn't really have their starters playing. Like Mizzou getting 1 billion points and Ohio State getting 3, that is a bad look for college football. So it shows you, unless you are one of the top 4 teams, like almost the bowl games are irrelevant, unless you have your starters and your star players playing. You don't want to be undefeated, lose 1 or 2 games, and then all of a sudden you don't even have your star quarterback for Ohio State playing, and then you put up a fucking 3. I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, talk about wanting to lose fans on college football. That's how you do it. So I do like the NIL thing with paying the players, but what I don't like is these guys opting out, transferring, like complete the bowl game and then fucking leave. You don't want to be there anymore, and you say, fuck them, play the bowl game, and so people can see what you got and then leave. Don't just leave before, because then if you do, then we have garbage product in the bowl games, and this is the worst bowl season of all time. I have never seen more shittier bowl games than this year, and it's including the high-end teams, We don't want to see Ohio State put up a 3. I mean, when's the last time you saw Ohio State put up a 3 ever? Ever. I'm 41. I've never seen them put up a 3. So, that's the landscape of college football for you. Penix Jr., yeah, he definitely was worthy of the Heisman. You know what I mean? But if they end up finding a way to beat Texas and they can beat Michigan, he's more of a team guy than a me guy. And also, too, the Heisman winner is usually cursed, right? So if Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. got it, that would be looming over their backs. And some guys can handle like the Heisman, and other guys can't. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, you can be great in college, right, at Florida State and Oregon, but you kind of hit your ceiling and you cap out. So some guys, hit their ceiling in college. They think they're going to get better, and then they don't. And they find out that, oh shit, I was really dominant in college, but everyone around me is better, and I'm not getting any better, and everyone else around me is. So, I feel with, LSU getting their Heisman winner, I think he'll be able to handle it a little bit better. But I think it's better that Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. didn't win it, because I feel if you're a quarterback and you win the award, it's almost like a negative like vibe instead of a positive vibe. Yes, you're the best player, in college football, but just the tradition of Heisman quarterbacks failing, people don't forget about that. If you're a running back and you get it, or a wide receiver, you're fine. But if you're a quarterback, I feel there's a lot of pressure of being the number 1 or number 2 pick. And then also, if you're a Heisman winner, then it's like, if you can't be mentally strong, you might not be able to succeed because you have too much going against you, or you get in your own head. So, Blazers against the Suns. What's the score? Keep me posted on anything else sports-wise that's going on. Shout out to Lauren for helping me out on the Twitter and the X. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Got a few more subs. Three more. Appreciate that. $21 more subs to 20,200. ESPN mad Alabama lost. Yeah. Well, the committee obviously wanted no SEC teams in there, because if they did, they would have had Georgia over Texas, and it would have been Georgia, Bama, and you would have gotten at least one of them in the championship. So, Brandon in the building. What's good? Or it's on League Pass, or it's on a streaming app. Aha. We got Hornets, Nuggets, Blazers, Suns, Mavs, Jazz, Pistons, Rockets, Pacers, Bucks, and Cavs and Raptors. But the Blazers are terrible, so I mean, I'll watch them, but it's not like we're doing anything. I'll watch Scoot. I ended up going to see the Spurs a couple days ago, which was fun. We got a dub there, but first down and 10. Dylan Johnson got blasted at the line, gain of 1. Hopefully, college football fans aren't like baseball fans, NASCAR fans, and other fans. Hopefully, they'll show some love. I don't want to be the most underappreciated YouTuber on planet Earth again. I already had that role in 2023. I don't want to have it for 2024. Second down and 10. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Penix. Plus, it helps when you got 2 wide receivers that are going to the NFL from the Huskies as well. But if you didn't watch the Huskies, then you wouldn't even know that. But Roma Dunze and Jalen McMillan are nice. Yeah, but it's nice to not have an SEC team in the championship, for once. And it definitely favors Michigan to finally, second place, third place, second place, third place with like Michigan and Ohio State. And now it kind of feels like this could be Michigan's year, but if they play sloppy like that, at some point someone might be able to, get them, but it still feels like Michigan is the best team. They're the number 1 seed, and, Washington and Texas might be able to hang with them, but I don't know if I believe in Quinn Ewers as much as Michael Penix Jr. Like, I think Michael Penix Jr. is slightly better. I think he handles pressure a little bit better. His deep ball is better. His spiral is better. Is Ewers an NFL talent? Yes. Do I like Ewers? Yes, I like him a lot. But I just feel like a lefty is different. Like, how many lefties are in college football? How many lefties are in the NFL? One. So instead of having a right quarterback and having a left tackle, be your blind side, you're a lefty quarterback and it's a right tackle. So how many teams actually practice against a left-handed quarterback scheme? You're at a disadvantage. So I guess if you are a good lefty, and like Michael Penix Jr., Washington is going to have an advantage over Texas as well as Michigan, in my opinion. First down, Huskies. But the one thing that counteracts Michael Penix Jr. and these NFL receivers and Dylan Johnson at running back is Michigan's number one rated D. Right? We know that they fly around with missiles out there. So, and if you end up, getting in Michael Penix Jr.'s face, it's not going to matter that he's got a beautiful arm, beautiful spiral, great wide receivers. You're not going to have time to get those guys the ball if Michigan's in your face. So, very excited to see how this game plays out, Texas or Washington. And Michigan is just happy that they played sloppy and then won. So, because I'm not sure if they deserved to win that game with all the mistakes, but they were good enough. Shotgun set, pump fake. But like if you look at Michael Penix Jr. when he throws the football, it's the most effortless out of any quarterback in college football this year. Everything, he's always calm, cool, collected. He can dink and he can doink just like any right-handed quarterback. But the thing that really separates him is the long ball. The long ball with accuracy, the long ball to lead the receiver, the long ball with touch, to get it right on a dime. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that can do that. So Matthew McConaughey there. All right, all right, all right. End of the first quarter, we're knotted up at 7. All right, where are we sitting on the likes? We need to try to get those up. All right, we just got another sub, 20 to go. All right, we got 20 subs to go to hit 20,200. If you want to be a part of the party, please do. Help your boy out. 820 to 21,000, 20 to 20,200. And then Michigan, Alabama, we hit over 2,500, so that's good. Let me see what we got. 2,499, so it's going to be over 2,500. So, and then I put that as the initial video that people see whether you sub to the channel or not. So that'll be like the highlight of the channel on the front. So. Polk, McMillan, Odunze. Yeah, they got some, and Johnson's pretty good at running back. I mean, they got some pretty good players on Washington. I mean, I'm a Duck fan, and I should be bitter, and I could be a hater. You know what I mean? But why am I going to be bitter and a hater? Towards a team that is amazing. This is the last year of the Pac-12. We want to make sure that we represent strongly. We don't want to always be known as like little brother fucking forever. And obviously, if Washington ends up beating Michigan, well, we're going to be on top, and then that'll give Oregon hope that we can be on top one day. And our recruiting is getting better and better with Dan Lanning. So if Washington can win it this year, it gives Oregon hope that maybe we can win it in the next 15 years, as well. So, notice I didn't say, next year or a couple years. It might take a while. So there's a great coach right there. DeBoa. Let him know. Smash that like button. Let's get to 20. 6 more to 20. And then we'll try to get to 30. Sarkisian loves scripts. Second down and 7. There we go. First down, Huskies. Move the chains. It's been a long, long day today, but doing games like this is worth it when there's so much on the line and you get to see NFL talent. Great win by the Ducks and Bo Nix. Great to see that he loves college football and his teammates so much that he wanted to go out and not only break Mariota's records, but also, to be, playing with his guys, his friends. I really respect that. Oregon is like the only team, that wasn't playing in, the college football playoff semifinal that actually played almost their whole fucking roster, except for Jackson Powers. He didn't play. And we still ended up dominating. But I get it why Jackson Powers didn't play. I mean, you're the best center in college football. I don't want you tearing your ACL and losing your, draft position and whatnot. So, and we knew we were going to win without him. So, flag on the play. Let's see who it's on. Oh, low block on Texas. Oh, Michael Penix Jr. loves that, baby. Automatic first down. And there's a reason why they picked Texas instead of Washington, because if it was Washington, Georgia, who do you think is going to win? Georgia. So then you would have ended up being Georgia and Michigan, which I don't know, if people would have really, SEC fans would have loved it. But as far as everyone else, you want to give everyone else a chance. You know what I mean? So, because as good as Washington is, I don't think that they would be able to beat Georgia. I mean, it shows you Alabama and Georgia are the real deal every year because they got the best NFL players, the most NFL players. But this year, Alabama was the weakest we've ever seen because Milroe, wasn't like up to the Alabama standard. I'm not saying that Mac Jones was, but at least they had better supporting cast around Mac Jones than this Alabama team was the worst Alabama team we've seen in a long time. I think we can all come to an agreement with that. And then Georgia, I feel Georgia wasn't as good as the past years with the Natty, but I still think Georgia was better than Bama. Bama just beat them. But I thought Georgia was the better team. Second and goal. Touchdown, Huskies. Dylan Johnson, baby. Touchdown, Washington. Texas fans are going to recognize real quick. We might be Pac-12 and we might have a reputation of being little brother, but again, when I tell you, when we're good, we're going to be really, really good, just like Pacific Northwest teams. We might not be good every year. Hell, we might only be good once every 10 years. But when we're good, we're really, really good. USC with Reggie Bush, some of these teams with Oregon, with Mariota and some of the others in the past, like when we had Chip Kelly, it's not going to be every year, but when we are good, we're very, very good. All right, Dylan, nice job, baby. 14-7 Huskies. Not surprised. Me and Sarah picked Michigan and Washington. That's electric start for the Huskies. And remember, mental health is very, very important, not only in 2024, but in any day, in any year. Make sure you take care of yourself and check up on your friends. Thanks. All right, Texas, your turn. All right, I can't wait to see what Quinn Ewers does to be able to bounce back right here. 12 personnel, 2 running backs, 1 tight end. Motion the running back, run a bubble route, then run a counter in the inside zone read with a bubble. Little RPO playing. I think for me, if you're going to run a play, I think running a play action bootleg, to the right or left, and then doing a little toss to the running back. that's a good way to set the tone. Unless you have like an elite running back and you just hand him the ball, you know. But I think that is a good play call, and that just like what Michigan was doing as well. When you get to that play action, but then you can get that running back to kind of just leak out, into like just a little screen, like a little bubble screen over there. That's usually pretty effective unless you got corners that stay home, and then they'll blow that play up. Why cross concept? Yeah. All right, Texas, your turn. If I get a good Quinn Ewers photo up here as well. All right, Texas, let's go, baby. Let's go, Quinn. Show me. Shotgun set. Little screen. Sniffed it out. Nice defense by the Huskies, baby. John in the building. What's good? Second down and 12. Shotgun set. Ewers steps up in the pocket. Oh, incomplete. In and out. What happened to my hands? No problem, John. A long day for me. I already did the first game with Michigan and Bama, so long day in the chair. Sometimes that's how it is. 0 for 3 on third down for Texas. 0 for 1 for the Huskies. Third down and long, third and 12. Washington showing blitz. Trips right. Shotgun set. Ewers. Screen pass. Two blockers in front. 4 Huskies. Smack them. About 3 yards short of the first down Maka. Fourth down. Go Huskies. I'm a Duck fan, and I'm going for the Huskies. My favorite player in college football this year, John, was Michael Penix Jr. I know a lot of Oregon fans can't comprehend that. I should just say Bo Nix because I'm a Duck fan, but my favorite player in college football overall was Michael Penix Jr. this year. So, it's good not to be biased. Preston in the building. What's good, bro? Texas is going to realize they're a really, really good team. But, wow. What was that? Lots of special teams errors, but I guess if you don't play for a month, that's going to happen. But we saw a lot of sloppy play for Michigan and Bama in the first game in the college football playoff. Oh, here comes Texas about to tie the game. Lots of special teams errors. And remember, it's one of the hardest things to do, to act like anybody could do that. There's even elite football players that can't take punts and kick returns, because you're like looking up and you have to make sure that you catch the ball, knowing that someone's trying to fucking clean your clock and knock you out. Like, how many people have the guts and the moxie, and and the discipline to be able to hang in there tough, or someone might get a flag and just obliterate you. Who cares if they get kicked out of the game or if they get a flag? But you just never know. With football players, sometimes they're dirty. You know what I mean? Right up the guts, almost a first down. But I have mad respect for people that do punt return, kick return. I mean, it's not easy. And if you've ever played sports, chances are, I guarantee you probably didn't play that position. Takes a lot of heart and a lot of discipline and a lot of guts. And you got to have a lot of skill, because you could be like an elite wide receiver but drop punt returns and kick returns. Doesn't mean that you're not good. It's just that threat of someone cleaning your clock and shooting at you at a missile and trying to knock you out. Well, and you still have to catch the ball, Second down and 1, man in motion, handoff, gain of about 3, down to the 5-yard line. Flag down. Was it holding on the O-line? Probably. Shotgun set. Ewers, nice pass. Ewers. That's my Quinn. There we go. First down, Texas. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I hope Ewers pans out in the NFL. I feel that, with Caleb Williams and Drake May, they may pan out. There's going to be a lot of pressure if they end up being 2 of the top 5 picks. But I kind of feel like Ewers and Michael Penix Jr., if they go lower in the draft and go to better teams, they might end up being a little bit more successful than even Drake May, who is supposedly so NFL ready. Didn't really have a very good season at North Carolina. A lot of his weapons went to the NFL the year before, but New England would be a great fit for him there. Don't know if he would want to play there. Touchdown, Longhorns, right? And then obviously Caleb, I don't know where he would necessarily go. His best fit would probably be the Giants, but if he doesn't have supporting cast there, I'm not really sure if he's fully he'll be better than just average, but will he be a franchise quarterback? That remains to be seen. There's going to be probably like 8 quarterbacks taken, 2 that pan out, 2 that are above average, 2 that fail, and then 2 that are going to have to wait until they go to their second team to get another chance to see if they can make it. But out of like 8, not all of them are going to pan out. You're probably only going to get like 1 or 2. Preston likes the touchdown. The Rock. Yeah, well, obviously they're just trying to promote their merger, with Danny Garcia and The Rock. The Rock is showing up everywhere because it's all business, just promoting. XFL, USFL, now another league, marketing. Not like Rock is going to be wrestling. But the merger is good because that way we don't have 2, companies competing. It's not even close to being an NFL, or college football product. But if you get both of them to merge, and that there is going to be NFL opportunities there, you will get better games and better talent. And it won't be, every game won't be watchable. There's definitely going to be ones that will be unwatchable. But I feel that there will be more watchable games in that new league than there were with the other 2. So. All right, Michael Penix Jr., your turn. Looks like we got another sub. Appreciate that. $19 more to get to 20,200. Appreciate you very much for the people that have subbed today. Yeah, usually I got about, let me see, how many do I have? Because you have to find like background music that's approved so you don't get copyright. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 options just on hand that I can use. And usually there's just 2 files that I typically use, usually during commercial breaks. But if people want me to have the music in the background while I call the game and when we interact, I mean, I kind of leave it up to the people in the room. Some people like it, and some people may only want it during the commercials. So I don't want it, I like it, and I can, like I said, I feel if you're sober or you're not sober, I feel the music is a kind of a cool vibe. But again, it just depends on each individual. Some people like it throughout the whole stream. Some people like it when I just sprinkle it in. So you guys let me know what you want. But I'm typically just going to use it for commercial breaks unless people ask otherwise. But it kind of, keeps the flow going, with everything that's going on. All right, baby. Electric start, 14-14. Let's go, baby. All right, Michael Penix Jr., your turn, baby. Preston, did you have a good New Year's? Good Christmas? I hope you did. How are the Stars doing? First down and 10. Penix Jr., floater, going deep. Dude, Michael Penix Jr., when he throws, it literally is the most beautiful thing that you have seen all year. Like, prove me wrong. When you watch him throw, what's better than that? When Tua throws, it's nice. You know what I mean? But when Michael Penix Jr. throws, it's like Steve Young. You know what I mean? It's like, Michael Vick would have a smooth throw, going deep. Tua can throw deep with the smooth throw. You know what I mean? Steve Young could throw the deep one, Boomer Esiason, but it's just a pretty throw, even prettier than Tua. Like when he throws the ball, it doesn't even look like it's going to be completed. But then you get an amazing NFL receiver like Rome Odunze that takes advantage. Already an hour in. Let them know. College football fans think O-Dog works for free. Is that how it goes? Deep ball accuracy, the best in college football, Michael Penix. If Bo Nix was better at it, then I would, would be like, oh, Bo Nix, if he had more of the intangibles. But I feel Bo is good, but again, if I'm like, picking an NFL talent, I like the heart and the intelligence and the man of who Bo Nix is. But if we're looking at NFL talent, I think Michael Penix Jr.'s upside is higher than a lot of these other college quarterbacks. But the only thing that's going to be going against him is if he goes to a shitty team with shitty coaching, shitty supporting cast, or if he gets hurt. And that's really the only thing that's going against him is his body. If his body can hold up, he could end up being the best quarterback out of this entire draft class. I think it's possible. And also the fact that he's a lefty, and lefties are fucking the shit. They're smooth, and especially when lefties are good, they really stand out, Like, when's the last time we've seen a shitty lefty in anything? It's like all of them are pretty good. Chris Mullen, Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Tua, Michael Vick, Boomer Esiason, Steve Young, Michael Penix Jr. I mean, I don't see any shitty players there. Like, all of them are at least pretty good, above average, underrated. Third down and 1. There's a lot of players on the Huskies I like. I like I said, I just try to be able to watch talent, and that's really what separates me from everyone else. Nice tackle by Texas. Like when you can actually appreciate the league as a whole, your eyes open up to completely different, type of strategy, talent level, you know what I mean? And that's why, I feel it's so important. Like you can still have your favorite team and favorite players, but you just don't have to be so biased about it. And that's the problem because 99% of people are just overly biased and they just don't realize it. Or they do and they don't care. You know? Fourth down and 1. Dylan Johnson with the direct snap. Good stop by Texas. And then hopefully when Matt gets a job, a computer, a microphone, Hawaiian Telecom, and then he'll be able to join me for some Duck games next year. It's all up to you, man. It's all about how bad you want to be able to record with your boy. If you think it would be cool and it would be important, then you're going to work a hell of a lot harder than you have in the last year to try to get that to happen. Basic shit, man. Just good enough internet, good enough computer and microphone so you don't sound like shit, and then we can have another person hopping on with me. So. They pulled in Alabama. They did. Except the Huskies did the direct snap with the running back, not the quarterback. That we knew that was a runner. Like you had a horrible play call selection there, with Saban. Run up the middle with the running back. Run up the middle with the running back, and then what? And then a pass that was incomplete. And then you had fucking Jalen trying to do whatever the hell that he thought he was doing there. It's like I get it. You're a very athletic body, and sometimes you can slither your way. You know what I mean? But when they know you're probably going to do that, they would have been better off doing an RPO and bouncing it to the outside and either faking the pitch or just taking it himself. And going that route. That might have been able to be the scoring play, but hindsight is 2020. But when Michigan's got big boys up front, why the hell would you run right into them? It's like, hey, can we run into a brick wall? Sure. It's like go to the outside. Unless your offensive line is one of the best in the world, then you trust them that they can push back a little bit. But that was probably like the last play that I would have done, running right up the gut. I do like the decision with Milroe, but again, if they would have went to Bond and threw to him, maybe on first down on a play action, maybe things are different. But I would have liked to see Milroe have the ball in his hands on all 4 plays and have it be more like an RPO bootleg and then go that route. But again, play calling is something that not everyone can master. Matt Payton, get a damn computer. Matt Payton, get a job. Matt Payton, get that internet. Matt Payton, get that microphone. Follow the boy. The Payton that Matt. I'll see you. All right, I got to look at some NBA scores. I know the NBA is dog shit, and no one really gives a shit about it. But I still need to look. I still need to keep up with everything that's going on in sports, even if it's college hoops or the NBA. When you're a fanatic, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's sports or wrestling. I'm interested. Blazers down by 8 at halftime. Yeah, but I don't think Saban was calling the plays. They got a specific coordinator that's calling the plays, right? So Saban ain't calling the offensive plays late. They got someone else doing that. Matt would know. I mean, sometimes the head coach will override, or they'll go in it together, even if you have an offensive coordinator. I've seen it where the coach doesn't like the play or will call in another audible, and even if it's not an offensive coach, it could be a defensive minded coach, and still, they decide to change the play. Like I imagine there's been times where Belichick is like, even though he's a defensive coordinator and typically or a head coach and he's overseeing, that he can make an audible on the D and the O. I mean, if you're running the fucking squad, you got final say. Yeah, see? Yeah, not a very good play selection on that last drive, but Ewers going deep. I like Xavier Worthy and Ewers. That's the same kind of equivalent as Penix Jr. in Rome, but I just like Penix Jr. in Rome slightly higher. But I do have mad love and respect for the other two. And I hope that Ewers pans out. I really, really do. Maybe Ewers will end up on Tampa Bay. Maybe Michael Penix Jr., maybe Bo Nix, maybe, one of those. The ones that I know I'm not going to have 100% are Drake May and Caleb Williams. Obviously, I will have no chance on getting those. And in all honesty, I don't know if I would want either one of them. I still like both of them. You know what I mean? But I think the mental health part with Caleb Williams, and being around the right people, I feel like he gets kind of rattled, kind of easily and whatnot, and didn't really have a good completion percentage or record against good teams. That worries me. And then Drake May, I think that he's NFL ready, one of the most NFL ready, but didn't have a very good year. So I need to be able to see your completion percentage, and you go through all the routes in the route tree. But it all depends on where you end up landing. Floater, incomplete. Because it all depends on where guys go. Like you could have Quinn Ewers, Caleb Williams, Drake May, all go in the let's say the top 7 picks for if Quinn Ewers if they drafted him that high. If they did, I don't think he'll go that high, but let's just say they did, right? And there's a chance that they don't pan out. But then someone like a Bo Nix going late, or Michael Penix Jr. going late to a team like the Steelers or the Vikings or the Buccaneers, and then if you go to a team that actually has some talent but they need a quarterback, then that guy might be able to succeed faster than going to fucking New England, or going to Arizona, or going to the Chicago. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's who you are, but it's also sometimes where you land and where the coaching is at the time, and the supporting cast. So, even though there might be 3 or 4 quarterbacks that are taken before possibly Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr., that doesn't mean that the Pac-12 guys are going to be shitty. It might end up being a blessing in disguise going a little bit later. Michael Penix Jr. on the Steelers, Michael Penix Jr. on the Bucs, Michael Penix Jr. on the Vikings. You can't tell me that wouldn't be exciting. That it would give you a Michael Penix Jr. going to George Pickens deep. Are you kidding me? That would be interesting. Yeah, well, I'm saying in the next couple years. Because obviously you got Arch Manning as well. And then, Jaden Daniels. But I'm just saying within the next 2 years, we're going to have probably 8 quarterbacks, that are going to be, going this year. And you're going to probably have another 6 to 8 next year. And yours, still has a little bit of room to grow. I feel that he's good, but a little bit more experience. Hell, we don't even know if Caleb is going pro. I mean, he says he is, but until someone drafts him and he says, I don't want to play for that team unless it's the Giants. And then what? And then he's like, I'm going to go back to college. But obviously, you have to give your decision if you're going to be in or not. So good game so far. I mean, like I said, it's one thing where it depends on if you're eligible. If you're like 3 years out of high school, and then you're eligible to go. And then also you get to a point where once you're eligible to go, whether you go early or if you decide to stay for another year or 2, depending on where you're at, in the college process. So I mean, some players are gonna stay until they're like a senior, 5th-year senior, 6th-year senior, and depending on if they redshirted or whatnot. So some of these guys are going to be playing college ball or being in the college system for years, 4, 5, 6 years before they come to the NFL. And then others are only going to be in college for the bare minimum, and then they're going to go in, and then they're just going to taste the money, and go then. So I mean, we've seen the drastic improvement in Penix Jr. from last year to this year. So how many more years of eligibility the Ewers have left? Oh, pass incomplete. Second down and 10, knotted up at 14. Less than 6 minutes to go. I like Dylan Johnson. I think Bucky Irving is a better running back, but I do respect Dylan Johnson. He was one of the main reasons why the Ducks lost. Paisley, you miss Daddy. Paisley misses Daddy. He said, Dad. I'm not done yet, Paisley. I got to keep going. We're still in the second quarter. I've got 2 more quarters to go, and then we'll go on a walk. I'll give you some food in a couple minutes. Okay. I love you. Penix. Oh, big hit. Barron. 19 subs to get to 20,200. We're getting closer. Oh, I got the review. A long time. I'm almost done. Okay. 2 more quarters and then. Rock, hold out, Roman. Keep it in the family. All right, Paisley's in the room hanging out with Dad because she's not used to Dad overworking like this. Hopefully, we get rewarded with a goat before the stream ends. I mean, this has been a long day. You just want to be able to get appreciated for the hard work being put in. 4th down and 1. Not enough at 14. Penix Jr. trying to draw him off sides. They're not going to hike it. Yeah. But Finley, it's only because of the merger of the USFL and XFL. It's not him necessarily wrestling, or at least we wouldn't think that, unless they haven't already signed a deal for, you know, some type of storyline in a very brief stint for The Rock. But in general, good to see The Rock. You know what I mean? I mean, because I've already watched like 4 programs of him randomly popping up. College Game Day. It's like all these other places that maybe that he wouldn't normally be there with Danny Garcia, his ex-wife, and then all of a sudden they're there, and that's what they're doing. They're promoting the merger. So, I would assume that's a big part of it. Like, hey, if you want to come in here and talk some shit for a little bit, but then we're gonna promote your shit. Cross promotion, money, money, money. Watch this fucking thing I invested money in. You help me, I help you. There's always an alternative motive. It's not just always genuine. Like, oh, he's there. There's always a motive. 4th down and 1. It's like you're not running against fucking Michigan's D line. If you got Dylan Johnson or Polk or anybody, fucking pound the rock. Don't be fucking scared right there. Hell, you could have ran that with Michael Penix Jr. if you wanted to. Good vision there by the running back. I don't know. I just have a thing where I'm a attention to detail type of person. So I'm always looking at all the details, all the little things too. Now it would have been cool to be able to see The Rock and Roman go at it, years ago. That would have been cool, but it would have been nicer to see Rock go a little bit longer on the wrestling side. But when you got Hollywood and movies and money, he had to go when he went. So but a piece of me is kind of selfish, like wish that when we had Rock and Stone Cold, that like Rock didn't go to Hollywood right away, like he did, but like he would still be able to wrestle full time for a couple more years and then go. Maybe that's just the selfishness in me, but it's like when you're seeing something special with the Rock and Stone Cold and it's not going to last forever. I kind of wish it lasted a little bit longer, but at least we have some of the amazing matches like WrestleManias. We got 3 epic Rock Stone Cold matches that you can go back and watch in your free time. So, all right, we got a review 14-14. Paisley Pup missing daddy. Yeah. I appreciate you can always comment anything on here. I mean, even if I've already read it, because that's all I do is read and watch film. Like honestly, I hang out with Paisley. I read and watch film. I watch games all the time. That's all I do. I'm on Twitter probably every hour. I don't really use Instagram and Facebook that often, but I'll check a little. I don't watch any other YouTube channels, so all I do is like the Twitter X, get all my reading and other stuff done, and follow all the teams and the websites and the blogs and all that. Spend time with Paisley every once in a while. I'll try to watch a new show, but a lot of times when I'm watching a show, I'm reading at the same time. So I sometimes I need to put the phone down or and just focus on a show. Like I'm trying to do like Deadwood and a few other shows, but 2nd down and 5. We're knotted up at 14. Nice offensive firepower from both squads. Love me some Quinn Ewers and Xavier Worthy. I do like Roma Dunzier and Jalen McMillan and Polk and Dylan Johnson and Michael Penix Jr. Deboa, fantastic head coach. Yeah, I did see that he was going to Florida State. Second and 5. Candace in the building. How are you? I wish I had time to do the Kraken matchup, Sarah. If I would have done the Kraken matchup, might have been able to hit the goal. You know what I mean? Might have not had as many people, in the Michigan Alabama stream, but maybe the goal would have been hit if I would have done that one. But when it's the college football playoff, what am I supposed to do? I really wanted to, and I watched it. I enjoyed it. But the Winter Classic is awesome, and hopefully in the future it's not on the same day as the college football playoff because I'm a super big fan of it. I love it. Like next time there's one, I hope it doesn't, line up. I mean, obviously today was tough. Ducks bowl game at 10 a.m. early, right? The fucking Winter Classic for the Kraken and Vegas Golden Knights at noon, and then this one, the other game 2:45, and then this one at like 5:45. So it's like, or 2 o'clock for the first game, 5:45 for the second game. So. First down, Huskies. Penix incomplete. Yeah, Rome is really good. Troy Franklin on the Ducks is very similar as well. The year of the wide receivers. I mean, you got Maserati Marv. We already know Marv is going to be a superstar. He has a chance to be a top 10 receiver right out of the gates and a fantasy stud. But the others that are there's going to be some sleepers. Yeah, off the tip. Touchdown, Huskies. Woo! Off the tip, baby. Just right there, that how he got that tip. That's how I got the Aaron Judge ball when I was at the Mariner game. It was just like that, like hands went in, it went up in the air, and then it right to me. I'm like, oh, but I mean, I did snatch it like Spider-Man, but that was pretty close. I mean, one was a baseball and that's a football, but incredible that it went up in the air for him to get it like that. That was awesome. So I'm telling you, Huskies, baby, Pac-12, represent. Big Ten, Pac-12, we're merging. Why not start a rivalry early? I just got to talk it into existence, right? And if you talk it into existence, the sports gods listen, not all the time, but most of the time. And then we talk about it, and then boom, it happens. ESP. I'm not going to be the only one that has ESP in the room. Others will have it too. I mean, it just depends on how often you watch. Amazing, man. 21-14 Huskies. I mean, there's going to be a lot of talent in the this year and next year, and then the following year. I mean, with all the people that are going to be coming in, and then obviously we'll have to get a chance to see where Arch Manning, and when he progresses and what he looks like, moving forward. And then obviously Shedeur Sanders, seeing if he can develop a little bit more and see if he can, improve his skill set. Obviously, Dion wants him to be the number one pick in the draft next year. So I'm not sure if you're going to have the team good enough to do that, but you'll still be able to showcase your skill set. So started off strong for Colorado and Dion, and then a lot of the bandwagon people started putting that Colorado hoodie that was popular early on in the first month into the closet. Still like what he was doing, and I don't mind his personality. I know some people don't like him, but I mean, Dion was always a hero and one of my favorites growing up. And you look good, you feel good, you play good. Sometimes people think it's arrogance, but if you're confident in yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people are not going to like you because you're confident in yourself. A lot better than not being confident in yourself, and being a pussy or an idiot, or dumb. Sometimes you got to be able to, build that confidence in yourself. Believe in yourself that you can get some shit done. So the Dion shit never bothered me. I know a lot of Oregon fans didn't like Dion, but I like him. But they're a long ways away from contending, And then they had a couple big transfers that were gonna come, and then they decided to flip, which I don't blame them. It's Colorado, and you're going to be going into the Big 12. You're going into the Big 12, so I guess the only benefit that Colorado has, they don't have to see Texas and Oklahoma because they went to the SEC. So I guess for Colorado, that's good. Less talent to match up against. So what's my opinion on Dion's coaching? Needs to be a hell of a lot better. Not that good. I like him as like a public figure and a motivator, a speech guy, but I don't know if he's good enough to like call the plays and do all that. Because obviously, if he's the one that's doing it, he's not doing a good job. They definitely need to bring in better people. Warren Sapp is coming, so at least Warren Sapp will be able to help out on the defensive side with the secrets and the tricks that Warren knows. So I like that. But I think that they need a better OC, better DC, and have him just be the face of the team and let the coordinators handle the show. That's what I would say. Yeah, I guess it depends on if we're trying to get subs and views, and then the donos might be a little lighter, or we go to something, oh, what happened to my hands, right? Or we go to something that we both really care about, because I care about the Kraken, you don't as much. Winter Classic is cool for any hockey fan, but again, if we have a chance to be able to get the goal rather than, go 8 hours straight and get nowhere near the goal on either one, I mean, that's not a good feeling, but on the bright side, lots of views, some subs. So sometimes we got to be able to take the mini W's, even if it's not ideally what we wanted today. So we just have to have the faith. I feel that like with my thumbs, I have just as good as thumbs as anyone in the business, so eventually that'll lead to something too. Because I've seen Johnny's and some of the other people, and I feel like mine are better. I feel like I take more time with mine. I don't rush them. They look better. I make sure that the spacing is correct. I make sure that the size is correct. Everything kind of flows. And a lot of people that do thumbs, they get kind of lazy and they just throw it up there. Especially if you know how to make them. It's like it takes time to do them right. Most people don't have the patience to make a thumb for an hour, hour and a half. They rush it within like 30 minutes and they say, "Oh, good enough." Johnny is skilled, but I feel I've gotten to his level or surpassed him honestly. So, and he didn't even teach me how to do it. I had to figure it out on my own. But I had an idea of how he did it, and it took me maybe about a couple of weeks of fiddling around with it. But if you go back to what they look like and what they have looked like for a while now, for about a year, it's a big upgrade. So yeah, Sapp is going to coach the D line for Dion. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't know that. That was on our Twitter timeline like a shitload. But maybe it skipped your timeline, or maybe it was when you were sick. And when you were sick, they announced it. Probably. You probably were feeling like crap or whatever, and then like went to bed. And it's Warren Sapp going to Colorado, so it's not like jumping for joy, like something cool happened, like Edgerrin James or Marvin Harrison or Bob Sanders news or something like that. So it probably just slipped through the cracks. But yeah. But it wasn't talked about a lot. It was talked about for about a day and a half, and then no one talked about it after that. I'm probably the first one to bring it up since then. So But I do like Sapp a lot, even though he got caught with the prostitute during the Super Bowl. After not during the Bucks one, but kind of gave his legacy a little bit of a black name. Trying to do that. But as far as the player, one of the biggest shit talkers, but he was like Keyshawn, but he actually delivered. Warren Sapp actually was a Hall of Famer. Warren Sapp was the best D tackle of the generation. Within like a 20-year period until Aaron Donald came, and then he took that role. But Warren was the guy of the generation. 95 to 2005, there was nobody better at D tackle than Warren Sapp. Facts, and I'm proud of that he was that good. I mean, that I could have his jersey and Derek Brooks, the best outside linebacker ever. And then Lynch, one of the top safeties, top three at that time, and then Rondé Barber was a top 10 corner, maybe the most you know I'm trying to want to say the perfect word for him. Maybe the most well-rounded with the sacks and the picks. He has records there, 30 and 30. So I don't think people realize how good the Bucks defense really was. I mean, potentially 5 Hall of Famers. How many defenses have even 1 or 2 nowadays? They had 4 when one that was borderline, Simeon Rice. I mean, no wonder we won the Super Bowl. And we had an All-Star on the offensive side. So essentially, what? 5 Hall of Famers, and Simeon Rice is borderline, so almost 6. So broadcast partner? Who? Yeah. Yes, I did. And then I usually try to bring people on here with me, depending on if I think it would be a good fit. So, but sometimes I have special guest appearances and stuff. Third down and 1. Play action fake. Viewers, look at the speed. Look at the speed. Slide. And a late hit. That was a late hit. He didn't mean it, though. He didn't mean it, though. That's all right. Not a dirty play. That was just him, protecting his body. Guy came in. That was probably the least non-dirty hit I've seen in a long time. They can scuffle all they want, but that was not ill intentions. You're fine there. Texas has nothing to bitch and gripe about. It wasn't like, Bama and Georgia, or Michigan playing Ohio State, where they're actually like uppercutting each other underneath the chin pad where they're actually connecting. Yeah. All right, Texas is about to score right here. We got ourselves a game. Warren Sapp, Tom Brady. Yeah, he gets him more on the shoulder. He wasn't launching his body. These Texas fans are losing their minds. If you want to see a dirty hit, I'll show you one. You want to see dirty hit? Yeah, your fucking son probably won't even get off the turf. You've seen those on the highlight reels where you see the guys like even the old school in the 80s and 90s when they're launching themselves, like a fucking pencil in the air for like 5 feet, and then they knock the guy fucking ice cold out. Or if you go back and watch like highlight packages of Sean Taylor, Sean Taylor at the Pro Bowl game against that fucking kicker or punter, obliterated his ass. Miss him. Rest in peace. Touchdown, Baxter. Touchdown, Longhorns. Hook 'em horns. Unless you're Oklahoma, and then horns down. Like when Oklahoma beat them in the Red River Shootout. That was an awesome game. And I was kind of thinking to myself, I watch it every year, and then not knowing that Dylan Gabriel was going to transfer to Oregon, but I'm really glad I got to soak that tape in. Extra point is up, and it's good. What a game we have right here. Love it. A lot more exciting on the offensive side here than the other game. But the other game is more dramatic because the teams are better. Yeah, and there's more on the line. It's like, every play is magnified a little bit more because when you got elite defense, you can't do anything. So when a big play happens, you're like, oh my God. When big plays happen here, you're used to it. It's like one after another because the defenses aren't as good. So Yeah, it's crazy too, because like with Brady, when he was on New England, really wasn't my cup of tea. Like I respected him, on how good he was. Um, but when he went to Tampa Bay, it was kind of a new beginning. Like also like Aaron Rodgers. I wasn't really a big Aaron Rodgers guy per se, when he was on Green Bay. But then when he went to the Jets, I was like, I kind of like you a little bit more now. Sometimes it's just that team that has that bad taste in your mouth. And, with everything that was going on over there with Kraft and then, Brady, Belichick. Great day of football so far. 21-21. Washington had the momentum early. Texas had the momentum late. All right, I'm gonna go check out and see what Paisley's up to. Give her some food because it's been a long, long period of time here. I'm streaming for today. By the time we finish, it'll be 6 to 7 hours, 8 hours, something like that. Maybe 7, 8 hours. So I'll turn on some background music for y'all, and then I'll be back here in just a little bit. All right, it's halftime, so anyone needs to go to the bathroom, get something to eat, do what you got to do. I'll be back in just a couple minutes, definitely before halftime ends, and I'm gonna hang out with my pup for a second, maybe grab a snack, and then we'll be back at it. So do what you got to do, and we'll be back, and we'll do the second half here, and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, I'm back. I am back. LG. A little Michael Penix Jr., a Dylan Johnson, and then how about a little Quinn Ewers? Go Ducks, baby. Bo Nix, it's a touchdown party. 45-6 over Liberty. Go Ducks. Wish we were playing in this game, but again, if I was a hater, there's no way in hell I'd be rooting for Washington or Michael Penix Jr., but since I'm not, I am actually rooting for them to win it all. I think it'd be cool to be able to see the second coming of Steve Young. You know, aren't we due a really elite left-handed quarterback? We had Michael Vick, right? We've had Tua. Can we get someone better? You know, and it's like those guys aren't bad, you know, but they're not really considered, you know, day in, day out superstar. You know, they have their moments where Vic was amazing, but, you know, sometimes he was kind of average, you know, and then Tua sometimes is amazing, but sometimes plays average. Can't we get a lefty Steve Young who's just fucking awesome like every fucking day? That's what I want. So I'm hoping that Michael Penix Jr. is that guy, and I think he's got the skills to do it. And, you know, he's a mentally strong dude, got good family around him. I feel he's humble. I feel that he's confident. I feel that he likes to put team over me. He'd rather have the championship than a Heisman. And I think he truly means that. And those are the little type of intangible things that I look for when I look at a quarterback going to the next level. Are you a man or are you a boy? Are you a man and are you trying to be able to, like, you know, take the shirt off your back for your teammates and do whatever it takes? Or are you fucking selfish? You got ego, you know, and it's all about you and that's it. And you don't care about anyone else. You act like you do, but you don't. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that are like that. So you got to kind of make sure that you're doing your homework so that way you can kind of read in between the lines. Or you get someone like Johnny Football that just like girls and partying and drinking, right, rather than actually going to the NFL. It just so happens that this, you know, hardcore partier, right, that was just good at football. And sometimes you have that as well. But I know a lot of people don't like Johnny Football, but I love him, man. You know, like I said, I see a little bit of me in him, and I feel that, like, you know, sometimes, you know, you can fuck up and you can fall down and you can make mistakes, but you just have to be able to change, you know. Sometimes you just can't party forever. Sometimes you got to grow up and you got to, you know, you got to be able to adjust your priorities. But what I will tell you is Johnny Football, when he was at A&M with Mike Evans, my boy, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, first ballot Hall of Famer, right? You go into Alabama and you win just like Texas did this year. You remember, you don't even give a shit if Bama's not as good as normal. You still went into Bama and won, which nobody does, unless it's like Georgia. So, you know, for Texas to do it this year, and for, you know, when Johnny did it, it was at a time where that was so unheard of. When Texas did it this year, Alabama wasn't as good, and it was shocking, but not that shocking. Shock factor, 1 to 10, maybe a 5 or a 6, right? Like, whoa, Texas did? All right, Quinn Ewers, right? But then when Johnny did it, that shit was like an 11. That shit, like, made him a name, like, instantly. You're like, did you see that Johnny Manziel, the football guy? You're like, oh. And then I felt like that with him, and obviously prior to that was Michael Vick. So, lefty. So a lefty, swaggy righty, and then a lefty. So it takes a very special quarterback for me to get excited. I want to be able to see something I haven't seen before. If you're going to rush the ball like Michael Vick, if you're going to be a rusher thrower like Johnny and have the swag, you know, or if you're going to be like Michael Penix Jr. and a little bit more humble and grounded, but you have this amazing lefty arm and you're smart as shit. And, you know, I want him on my team. I really do. If I had a choice between Penix Jr. and Bo Nix, I would go Penix Jr. No disrespect to Bo. You know, I'm a Duck, but if I had to choose who I think will be better in the NFL, you know, I feel that, like, Bo Nix could be maybe Baker Mayfield, maybe lower, maybe actually higher. There's a possibility he could be better than Baker, but a Baker type of player, you know. And then Michael Penix Jr., I don't know what the comparison is. Tua, Michael Vick, Steve Young, somewhere in there. But his lefty deep ball is pretty. I haven't seen too many guys that throw a deep ball prettier than Michael Penix Jr. I mean, name me somebody that throws a deep ball better. I'm waiting. You know what I mean? And righties can throw it, but it doesn't look as good as a lefty. It's just the mechanics and the way that the ball goes out of the hand, and it's rarer. And then when you see the completions, it's almost like unreal that he caught it. You're like, wow. You're like, the guy just threw it 70 yards. And then, you got an NFL receiver like Rome. And Rome Odunze just amazingly just catches it with his little fingertips. And you're like, how the hell did that happen? But when you get a lefty or, Tua to Tyreek, I mean, what's more pretty than Tua going 60 yards to Tyreek and getting a touchdown? You remember that shit. There's something special about a lefty going to an athletic receiver. You can start to really become a name. So I want Michael Penix Jr. and Justin Jefferson. Am I selfish to say that? No. Because I'll probably draft Justin Jefferson continuously in fantasy. Oh, dog. Send me something. Oh, I need to? Matt Payton says, man, wide receiver and tight end knowledge is so rusty. Gotta get back to doing those things. Gotta start watching some hashtag act down training to get back into the groove. It says, read this on your live stream. All right. I did. You're welcome. You're lucky you're my boy. I got this really awesome duck beanie that has Christmas lights on it that lights up, but I can't wear it because it's green and yellow, and so it'll just disappear on my head. Maybe you'd be able to see the lights on it, but yeah. That's the shitty thing about having Green Apple and having the Ducks be your favorite team. If you use a green screen, I can't rock all my fucking green or yellow or those color. If it has it on there, I can't rock that gear. Unless I do unless I just turn the green screen off, but wouldn't want to do that. Appreciate you, dog. There's a standard that we have here. It's higher, than the other places. Other places can talk sport, but here it's different. It's going deeper. More information, more stats, more analytics, less bias. It's something that what we're known for. No other channel can say they got that. So. Appreciate you too, man. Make sure you guys look out for this. Important. Oh, dog loves ya. Started here. Nice Michigan spinning logo. I got lucky. I found 3 spinning logos, which are very difficult to find. Of course, Alabama had some bullshit one that didn't look good, that was all fucked up and just sparkly or whatever. But this game was great. I did not assume that Michigan would be as sloppy as they were, but the game ended the way that I thought it would, pretty much. But I was kind of shocked on how sloppy. But again, if you don't play football for a month, you can be the number 1 team and look sloppy as shit. You just got to be less sloppy than the other team, or you have really good athletes to make up for your mistake. You make a mistake, but then the defense holds, and then you don't give up the points, and you find a way to crawl back and win. That's what happened. And then boom shakalaka, we're here. Then we went from this book, and then I had to hit you obviously with the Saban, right? The Harbaugh, Milroe, McCarthy. Gotta put some thought into this shit. You know what I mean? All right. We got dance pop, daydreaming, feeding the ducks, into space, loafy, night driving, and then we got rock. We got a commercial. We'll see what the rock is. It sounds like Pat McAfee show, like background music, or when they're changing topics or something. Something on like a Fox Sports or something, like an intro or outro, to their theme stuff or whatever. All right, we're knotted up at 21. LG, yes. That Sarah says, I'm disappointed in everyone on YouTube. I'm disappointed in every single one of y'all. That's what she's saying. You don't realize how hard this guy is working. We'll find the right people. Once we find the right people, it'll be 100 probably within the first hour. Once we get to down the road, you just got to be able to find the right people. Then when that happens, then good things can happen where I can actually give shit away, and that's what I want to do. I want to do that more than anything. But I don't need shit for myself. As long as Paisley's happy and the people that I know are happy, that makes me happy. So. All right. Enough of the Pat McAfee rock outro music. Let's start that third quarter, baby. Let's go. Fun teams to watch. And if you notice, like the drama was a little bit more intense for Michigan and Bama based off reputation. This one is like more for fun. You know what I mean? Like people could say, oh, this kind of feels like, third place game or something like that. But, both teams have really good athletes and potential NFL players. So, it's one is, how do I describe it? One is like, Alabama and Michigan is like playing Madden, right? And then this game, Washington and Texas, is like playing college football. So if you've ever played college football, it's a little bit easier to score, easier to run. It's a little bit looser in the controls. It's funner to play. Madden's a little slower, and if you don't really know how to play like a pro, you'll get fucked up in that game. You just can't go back and throw 4 Hail Marys and think you're going to win, But that's a pretty good comparison, I feel. And I love both the NFL game, but if I had to choose between NFL and college, I thought college was always better. And we are getting that video game back on EA Sports, which is awesome. I got a couple here in front of me. I got a little Case Logic, and I got a. Like I have college football 2004 and 2005 for some odd reason, but that's what I have. But there's nothing like playing old school PS2 or Nintendo 64 if you're around my age. If you have a system like that, fucking play it. Oh, look at this fake. Michael Penix Jr. first down. Huskies. You can play PS5, you can play Xbox. But if you go back and play something when you were younger, half your age, or when you were a kid, Sega, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 or 2. And then my ultimate favorite that I don't own, but I will buy one day, Sega Dreamcast. And I have to get the fishing spinner, and I have to get that controller, the special, and I got to get a couple of those bass tournament games where you do the fishing and whatnot. It's incredible. Graphics are cool, and it's like an arcade style. So it's like you go in a little spot with your cool boat and cool graphics. You got your little reel and rod. It's like a rod. It's a reel. Boom. You flick the wrist. You go in there. It shows underneath the water, so you can see all the things like underwater, cool graphics. And then boom. And then you catch one, and then you go to another spot that has cool graphics. It's I don't know. It's addictively fun. I don't know why, because I'm not a fisherman. I'm not a hunter or a fisherman, per se, like my dad and a lot of people that live here in Oregon. But there's something about that fucking game that was awesome, and they had some pretty cool titles on the Dreamcast. One of the most underrated systems of all time, Sega Dreamcast. Believe that. 64 as well. Lots of good titles. Oh, shimmy and a shake. He slipped. Yeah, I predicted this game 38-35. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but I was pretty close on the other one. I thought 23-20, in the other game, and it looked like it could have been like that, but then it went to OT. So but it was in that range where if you just know football, you're like, okay, I respect this defense. So if other teams are going to get 35 ish, maybe they would be getting 50 in the regular season. But this is a higher, bigger scale game. And then if you're a really, really good team like Michigan and Bama, then everything that you think that you're going to get in this game, cut that in half, and that's probably what the score is going to be. And that's how you calculate defense typically if it's elite. Like anything that you think that the other teams are going to be getting 30 to 40, then if you're playing elite, maybe 2017, 23-20, and you know that the team's got offense on both sides, they can fucking score. They'd be tearing people up 50, 60 points in the regular. But when you get to this level where you're going to go to the natty, everything is magnified. Any type of big bowls like this, BCS, CFP, all these are big. More eyeballs that are watching that normally wouldn't give two fucks about the game. Little screen. I just like it because I like to evaluate talent. So obviously, the more I watch, the smarter I'm going to be going in, and I can predict things on the NFL side a lot faster than everyone else because they're not watching college football, or they are, but they're only watching minimal. So you cannot be a good NFL YouTuber if you do not watch college football or follow high school. Period. You can do NFL, and I can follow all 32 teams. You have to see the pipeline, like AAA, single A, double A. If you really want to understand business and sports in general, you got to go deeper than just the obvious of what's in front of you. First down and 10. We're not up at 21. Fucking want some high school, college football. High school's not as necessary, but if you're hardcore, touchdown Huskies. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And you get to be able to showcase Michael Penix Jr. And what you're going to notice when you watch Michael Penix Jr. in the limelight, when people say the Pac-12 sucks, more than likely he's going to play better than everyone. Like if you're going to look at all the players, Blake Corum, Alabama's player, Kool-Aid McKinstry, all these players. Oh, Quinn Ewers, Xavier Worthy. You're going to go over all the players, right? But at the end of the day, who's going to look the best? Michael Penix Jr. You either can recognize the talent and you can see it, or you don't. And sometimes people just want to hate, but you have to understand lefties are rare, and this guy has got everything to be a superstar, like way higher than Tua. And Tua a lot of time is considered a top 5, top 10 quarterback based off statistics. Even though some people are like, well, he's got Tyreek, but before Tyreek was there, he could still do it with Waddle or with anyone. He did go to Alabama. It's not like he's like a fucking scrub, he's just a lefty, and maybe he wasn't Steve Young. Like, sorry, and stuff. And then he got hurt and got the concussions and whatnot. But now with Mostert, Waddle, and Tyreek, O-line and the defense are some fucking mess. But at some point, Miami will make an AFC championship game. Will they be good enough to make Super Bowl? That is yet to be seen because they need a better O-line and a better defense. But the coach is the right one. Quarterback, running back, wide receivers are fucking fun to watch. I don't give a shit if you hate the Dolphins, but Mostert, fun. Waddle, Tyreek, insane. Tua, underrated. And Mike McDaniel is funny as shit. And he's probably the best young coach because he's like McVay and Shanahan, but he's a little bit more goofy and hip-hop, and I like that. He relates with the players. He can get out there and, dance around with the players and fucking fuck around with them. And, it's not like a coach, like some grandpa talking to them. Like they feel like, like equals. And I feel that's a good connection that they have because he doesn't put himself like looking down at the players like "fuck you, you fucked up to us." Like they're like, "Let's work together to be great together." And how many coaches do you see that do that? And if you watch the HBO special or if you watch like the mid-season, like Hard Knocks type shit, and you get to see like how many coaches go into the room and be like, "You know what? I fucked up." You're always blaming the players and the coordinators, but when you get a guy that says, "You know what? I fucking sucked. I called shitty plays. I, I fucked up. It was my fault." Like that type of speech you don't hear. It's very very rare. So Andrew, Andrew, no, because it's a commercial. I mean, unless you want me to talking about Capital One, what's in your wallet? Someone wants a play-by-play. What's in your wallet? Planet Fitness presents toxic instructors trying to make some money. Somebody wants the play-by-play. That's what we're getting. Enough of this toxic nastiness. Go to the gym. Welcome to Planet Fitness. Uh, uh, uh. It's good. Yeah, it's commercial, bro. Relax. RELAX, brother. I got two mics because I gotta do the work of two people. Okay. Blake Corum, baby. People are always demanding, 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 demanding. I don't go to your stream and demand. Fucking January 1, 2024, demanding. 28-21. Give me the play-by-play on the commercials or I'm going to unsub. Golly. But he didn't even sub to begin with, so we're okay. 28-21, Washington. Less than 11 minutes to go. Let's go, baby. Penix Jr., he's special. Yeah. Stop taking the Oregon slogans, brother. You know that. Like win the day. And no one else will catch it, but I'll catch it. First down and 10, 28-21, Huskies. All right, Texas, your turn. What a game. Love it. Much better than being a hater. I can just appreciate Quinn Ewers. I can appreciate Quinn. Michael Penix, your fumble. He coughed it up. Dayquil, NyQuil, all the quills. Turnover party. Pac-12, baby. Pac-12, baby. Predicted Michigan and Washington. Pac-12, baby. Let's go. It's a turnover party. Let's go, Huskies. Damn right. Oh, 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 oh. This is a good matchup, man. Like I said, if you're looking for excitement, fuck ups, but lots of big plays, this is this is the game that 95% of the world loves. High scoring, but it keeps you interested throughout the whole game. Unless it's slower like the Alabama Michigan, which some people don't have the patience to watch a game like that. Or some people want me to call live play by play on the commercials because they don't want to hear my background music or dead air. Shotgun set. Trips right, man in motion. Michael Penix Jr. is a fantasy god. And see, like when you see, Sarah, it's like, and even Matt, when you watch Bo Nix, yeah, he does, something special. But when you watch Michael Penix Jr. do it, it's like it's a little different. You know what I mean? You just have to pay attention to the little subtle details, ball placement, the spiral, the breakdowns going through the reads. Is he going through first progression, second progression, third progression? How is he good on the deep ball? Like you have to look at all the intangibles. He's out there. They both are leaders. You know what I mean? But Michael Penix Jr., I mean, like I look at him, I'm like, oh, he's a starting quarterback for Minnesota Vikings. Like I can just imagine him shotgun set with Jetta down there on the bottom and then Addison at the top with Hawkinson. Madison in the backfield, but they need a better running back. I'm ready for the NFC Tua, but better. Is he a Bara? He is. Again, if the biasness, it's so easy to be like, oh, Bo Nix is the best, even when you don't think so, or even if you're not willing to learn if anyone is better. But this kid is special. Oh, big hit. And the only thing that's gonna, hold him back is injuries. That's it. He's got the arm, he's got the mentals. Everything is 10, 10, 10. Checking off all the boxes. Perfect, perfect. I don't have to worry about him getting in trouble. All these things, reading the defenses, nice arm, lefty, a team guy before being a me guy. It's just his health. Can his body, hang on? No more ACL, MCL, PCLs. He had like 4 years of 4 injuries, season-ending injuries in a row, and that's not good. That smells Greg Oden-ish, and you don't want Greg Oden. Trust me, I'm a Blazer fan. But I think Michael has a chance to be really special. 3rd down and 3, shotgun set. Penix Jr., hands off. Dale Johnson stuffed by that big Texas Longhorn defense. Husky Dan. Uh-oh. Get up. Cyberpunk saves the day. Thank you, Cyber. We got saved. A goat has emerged. Thank God. After the first stream, I was like, "Oh, we gotta find something." Support. You need it, you want it, and then you know who the goats are. They come through. You could be at 0, you could already be at 100, or you could be very, very low. You never know where you might be at. Could be at a 0 even. Bang! $100 dono. Hopefully, we can get some other people to step up to be on this level. Okay, before Cyberpunk, after Cyberpunk, understand the work that's being put in on the channel. Okay, we're grinding here. Fully producing the show. One person. Come on now. $100 dono. Stacks on stacks, baby. Racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Oh, yeah. Thank you, bro. That's my reaction. Touchdown. Support. Touchdown. Cares about me. Touchdown. Doesn't want me to be homeless. Touchdown. Here's some food so you don't starve. Touchdown. Cyber. Thank you, man. That's someone that wants me to win. Appreciate you, Cyber. All it takes is one person, But there are not very many people like the Cyber. Touchdown, Cyberpunk. I'm not sure if he's got time to be in the room. Sometimes he'll do drive-by donos, but throw up some Chiefs support, so hopefully things can get better. A very difficult year to be able to handle the emotions. Appreciate you, my dude. What's up, brother? Thank you so much. I messaged you on Twitter/X and just said thank you because that's just what I do, Appreciate you. How are you doing? Happy New Year. Hope you had a good Christmas. I hope things are going good in your life and you're designing the shit out of whatever pizza box, soda can, beer, or liquor product, and you're coming up with some amazing drawings that actually get some looks and some recommendations. But we love you and we miss you and we appreciate you. Pacheco, my brother. Let me know what you want for wrestling or Chiefs, and I got you. Field goal is up, and it's good. 31-21 Huskies. Appreciate you, Mike, very much. You want some wrestling photos or whatever? I mean, I've been kind of itching for some of your old school like favorites and whatnot, because everyone that I have that comes to the channel, they're different. Everyone is so fucking different. So when someone doesn't come in for a while, or if they're busy, or they don't have time to be in here and they do like a drive-by, don't know, whatever it may be, I guess it's kind of cool to be able to like throw up the cool things that they like. That way you can kind of get a vibe. But you let me know. Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, people can say, oh, you're biased towards this conference or that. I'll tell you, if I didn't think Michael Penix Jr. was like the real deal and I thought there was issues with the team, I would have no problem being an Oregon fan and saying, yep, Quinn Ewers is the dog. Yep, Texas is going to win. But sometimes if you watch enough college football, you kind of have an idea if the game kind of flows the way that you've seen games previously, that this team is better because they're going to find a way to, get those extra points out of the game that maybe that one team won't be able to do, or they'll have more turnover, or they're just not as fucking good or as hot. It's about being hot and healthy, okay? Not just in life, sports. I love me some Pacheco, though. Yeah, we're good. Like I said, a lot of us that are, the goats and the mods, we're not all going to think the same. Some of us are going to think differently. But I think one thing that I can do a little bit better than a lot is that I can plant a seed that maybe you disagree, but then when you hear what I say, maybe it opens up a light bulb where you're like, oh, I never thought about it like that. And that's what I like to do. Just give people another, opportunity of a different type of thought. Sometimes it's not as obvious as people think. Sometimes it's not black and white. There's like gray areas, not only in life, but in like sports as well. 31-21 Huskies. Need to get some cool pictures up for Sopper Punk. You like that one that I sent you with, what was it, Vader and Rick Rude with a gun? I'm always finding like the rando stuff that I think is cool or weird. I don't know, maybe other people would think that's stupid or whatever, but I like kind of candid photos of like wrestlers out of their element. So anytime I can see like rando photos of like rando people that you never think would photo together, like Vader and Rick Rude, like that doesn't necessarily scream like best friends or anything. And then Rick Rude has got this like big old gat. Crazy. 31-21 Huskies. Yeah. I think the difference with like us on the channel though, depending on who you are, is that not only do we watch like our favorite team in our conference, but we're watching all the good teams. So if you're actually taking the time out of your weekend and you're watching, Texas play or Georgia play, maybe not every game, but you take time out of your day to watch some, so that way you actually have a better understanding. And then if you're watching more, then you'll get a better vibe. I think the ESP is not only ESP, it's just based off putting in effort, and just seeing if the trajectory stays the same or not. And history repeats itself a lot if you just fucking open your eyes and pay attention. But a lot of times people, are maybe just assuming that we're just going to get a random thing that happens every time. Really good game. Like, I like Quinn Ewers and I like Xavier Worthy. I like the Texas team. They went and beat Bama. But the thing is, and I'm not trying to hate, but you did beat Bama this year, but beating Bama this year didn't have the same kind of impact of beating Bama a few years ago. And if you watch college football, you understand what I'm saying. Bama a couple years ago was like champions, and you knew it. All the NFL players, like 40 or 50. This year, they were kind of weak. So yes, they overachieved and beat Georgia, but they weren't as dominant as the Alabama Crimson Tide name normally is. And if you watch college football, this makes sense. If you don't, you probably think that, it's like, no. So the Texas win was big, but Washington's wins this year were bigger. Washington was fucking undefeated. In the best conference this year, in the Pac-12. 8 top 25 teams throughout the year, more than any other conference. So that means something. You're playing Oregon twice, beating them by 3 times, beating them by 2 times, like barely. squeaking by, but doing it. And then just mollywopping the floor with everyone else. So the Georgia, oh my God, did you watch it? I watched it for a quarter. You know, I knew Florida State's defense, though, within the first 3 drives, me and Matt were watching it, and I was like, ooh, Florida State's defense playing good. And I looked at all the people that opted out, and I looked at all the injuries, and I said, uh-oh. I was like, that ain't going to last long. And then as soon as I did that, I looked, boom, it's like touchdown, Georgia, boom, 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 boom. And then, you know, just like Mizzou and Ohio State. Like, when is there any time Ohio State put up 3 in a bowl game? Never. But when your starting quarterback, you know, transfers out and all these people opt out, I mean, I don't want to see a perfect product. If Ohio State football means something, you can't put up a 3. And that's where college football is going now. Yeah, Cypher's kind of a cool guy, you know, tries to help us out when he can. Big support, here, not little support, big support. Appreciate that. Let me continue to do my dream, you know. Take care of Paisley and take care of other people. And my favorite Kansas City Chief player ever is DT. It's kind of good. Oh, dog. Ryan Grubb for the Kings. Let Iowa play at Buena Vista and Storm Lake. Co-defensive court at William Mange. Played at Iowa. Again, his coach in there. Iowa ties. That's cool. I like that. I like information. Like, you know, more information is better. This is one of my favorite photos, like, on the whole entire thing. You know, because I might be a Buccaneer fan, a Duck fan, a Mariner fan, a Blazer fan. You know what I mean? But as, like, a little kid, you know, there's only you watch, like, Lawrence Taylor, Bruce Smith, Reggie White, you know, and there were certain guys that were, you know, around this time. If you were alive, you were blessed to see something like this. And we haven't seen anything like this since. Rest in peace to a fucking football god. Right there. I'm a Buck fan, but I would wear that jersey. I'd wear the shit out of that. Pretty cool. I mean, like the Lawrence Taylor one would be pretty swaggy to rock. You know, Reggie White would be really cool to rock. You know, even if you weren't a fan of the team that he had the jersey. You know, whatever one you decide to wear, Eagles or Packers or whatnot. But man, that Derek Thomas though. Penix makes it look so effortless. Right-handed quarterbacks, it's like so much, effort. You know, and then all of a sudden they're not accurate. You know, but then with the lefties, you know, there's just that smoothness, and it's that opposite. Right quarterback, left tackle, blind side. Left-handed quarterback, right tackle is most important. Everything's flipped. Hard to be able to coach against a lefty. Advantage lefties. That's what Miami needs to do. They just need to fix that fucking O-line and defense, and Tua will be in a Super Bowl throwing dimes at Tyreek. But it's not going to happen anytime soon if they don't fix that O-line and that defense. That's a problem. Shotgun set, Penix Jr., stud, steps up in the pocket. Look at me dance. Look at my bands. Bands. Stud. Bonafide G. Bonafide stud. Certified G. Bonafide stud. Trice. I don't got one right now. You know, anything that I give an opinion on, I'm not going to ever lie and be like this when I don't, think I have enough information to say yes or no. No, I don't do that fugazi shit. I only be honest. And usually I'll say that because I have to be able to watch and read more, and then I can come up with a better breakdown. Otherwise, you're just shooting from the hip or lying, and I don't want to do that. So. 31-21 Huskies, 3rd down and 1. And also, too, what makes the Huskies really, really good and it has an advantage over Texas is the coaches and the coordinators. You either know or you don't. And if you actually look at, like, the way the team is built, like, they got so many pieces. Like, if you got a good head coach, then you got a great OC and DC, and then everything is flowing together. In college football, it's rare. Just like it's rare in the NFL to have it all flowing together. Like, when you got 3 guys that are focused and on the same page, head coach, OC, DC, you can't fuck with that. Like, that's you got players on the field, but those 3, if you got geniuses, things are probably going to be an undefeated season or something really special, like we're seeing right here. Shotgun set, 1st down and 10. Penix Jr. looking smooth out there. He's a brother Steve Young. I'm ready for a brother Steve Young, better than Tua, better than Vic. I want that. NFC Penix Jr. The Minnesota Vikings select Michael Penix Jr. Like, no dog is a time traveler. 2nd down and 1. Yeah. I watched, a lot, man. And like I said, just because, I might not be a fan of, your favorite team doesn't mean I don't know anything about the organization. I really try to treat, like, every team as my own, which takes a lot of fucking effort. Like, 32, like, even if I didn't do any sports besides NFL, just to be able to try to be an expert on all the teams and not be biased is, like, literally insane. But I like to appreciate the GOATs and being able to connect with you guys, like with Derek Thomas and Cyberpunk, or Eddie with you and Sarah with Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, going back, further back and understanding Bob Sanders and his impact on the Peyton Super Bowl. If Bob Sanders wasn't on the team and the defense wasn't good, you never get past Brady and you end up not winning a Super Bowl. So you got the Super Bowl because not only Peyton was good, but the main reason was, true football fans know, Bob Sanders being there and him being like Defensive Player of the Year, that was a huge part of getting that far and winning. See, that type of connection, how many fans that are non-Colts would know that? Some, but not everyone. And that's the difference between others and us here. Michael, in the building. All right, I need to throw up some more cool things like this. Of the top supporters of the NWSF, #1 supporter, Cyberpunk. I like throwback shit. Go back in time with some fucking black and white. So it's like it taps into like another emotion in your brain when you see shit that's like black and white from like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s. Like, even though they had color stuff, like the original roll. Like telling a story with photos. That's what I try to do for you guys. Paint the picture the best way I can with what I have available in a timely manner. Swag, 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 swag. Where you get the swag? Here. Cyberpunk, GOAT. Derek Thomas, GOAT. Appreciate you. Before Cyberpunk. After. Thank you. Second down and 1 for Michael Penix Jr. I take Russ on the Bucs. Absolutely not. Respect the hell of what he did. And obviously them benching him was not because of his play. It was because of the money and the contract. Everyone knows that, right? But Russ actually played just like Baker this year. No one had any expectations and both balled out. You know, when you end up getting close to 30 touchdowns and less than 10 picks from two guys that are most people consider losers, like, I would say that's probably pretty good. You know, you can kind of change your narrative a little bit. Oh, Russ is a loser. and, out of the field or on the field or off the field. Oh, Baker, he's just a shit talker. He didn't live up to be number one. He sucked. And then you see both of them actually kind of play good. It's nice. Would I want Baker long term? Not just him, but I want someone to compete with him. So that way, if he fucks up or gets injured, then I got like Michael Penix Jr. that steps in, and I'm like, yes, this is my future. But I do appreciate what Baker did this season, but also the bad Baker, he showed up against the Saints, and all you had to do was win that, and then boom, you're in. And all that momentum you build up, you let the Saints take it away. So I need someone that can go better than 9-8. It's like, I get it. You're going to be able to get me to 10-7 and 9-8, but that's never going to get me to an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl. Mike Evans ain't getting any younger, and hell, he might be on the Chiefs next year or somewhere else. I hope not, but Michael Penix Jr. First day Huskies. But I wouldn't want Russ on the Bucs. I think that I like character guys, and I don't want someone that's going to be me before the team. I want someone to have good communication. I want someone that cares about the mental health of his O-linemen and the teammates. I want someone that actually cares, and for me, I think he cares a lot about Sierra and his kids, but I don't think he cares about the people on the field as much as he could. And that is a big red flag for me. So just that simple fact that you're not real and you're fugazi and you're not a genuine person, you're out. Give me someone that's more of a genuine person like Baker. Even if Russ's stats were better, 30 touchdowns, 5 picks, and Baker's is 28-8. Give me Baker. Because I know that he'll have beers with Tristan Wirfs. They'll talk life, and they actually ride or die for each other. So, if I know I get something like that, that's real. And he might not be the most popular guy, Baker Mayfield, but he definitely turned around his narrative, since where he was with the Browns and, the Rams, and now where he's at. But also remember, he had like 6 coaches and 6 coordinators in like 6 years. How many elite players could have a different guy telling them something every year, and then you're just supposed to ball out every year? Obviously, these guys are getting fucking fired every year because they're not good. So that's something, a part of it too. Now, do I think Baker's good enough to be top 5 or top 10? No, but I think he can play like a top 10 quarterback sometimes, and I think that's saying something. So that's my 2 cents. But no Russ on the Bucs. I would rather take a rookie, have Baker come back, get rid of Kyle Trask from Florida. Sorry, Finley, and any Florida Gator fan. I don't believe in him. He's 3rd string quarterback at best. And then, I need to find someone else, come through. Kirk Cousins, you want to come to the Bucs? As long as your knee doesn't fucking explode, fuck it, I'll take you. I like Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Chains. I like Kirk Chains. So, and he even has limitations, being like in the 11th or 12th, 13th best quarterback. You're not really in the 10. It was like you, Carr, Tannehill, and a few others that were like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But as you're seeing with all these backups, unless you're Jake Browning on the Bengals or Joe Flacco on the Browns, the backup role, a lot of them are not very good. So smash the like button or Sarah will keep you up. I need some more photos. On the screen. Here's a goat. Dusty, baby. Making that Cody legacy even bigger than people even realize now. Gold Dust, Dustin Rhodes, but then Cody has a chance to even, supersede Gold Dust and go into a territory that even Dad, wanted to do. Dusty. You can definitely age a fan group based on what we put up, what we talk about. I like everything, though, young and old. I can try to vibe with the people that are like 15 to 18, the vibe, the lingo, what's going on, what's hot, what's going on, and then, getting the people that are your age, vibing on exactly what you went through as a child, and then the people that are older and understanding their stories and their vibe. They got to see something that you never did. I like that. I wine and dine with kings and queens, and I've slept in alleys and dined on pork and beans. Quote, Dusty Nevermore. See, and I haven't put up any Dusty photos because I haven't had anybody really besides you and Odin's son that likes that kind of stuff. Well, me and Sarah, I mean, we love wrestling anything, so. I think I'm going to have to put up some Legion of Doom. I've been wanting to watch some of their old school matches as of late. Get back to my childhood. All right, Michael Penix Jr. (31-21), Washington in control. If Texas defense was better, then I would say, you know what, they got a chance. But they don't got anybody on that fucking defensive roster to keep up with that dude. Like, you have to have some ballers out there to slow down Michael Penix Jr. The guy is so talented. If you just got guys out there, you're going to get fucking ripped apart. He'll throw 300 to 500 on your ass. But if you got a good defense, he'll still probably get close to 300, but, you know, maybe 250, 225. But for him, that's terrible. You know, that's when you know you got yourself a fucking boss. Because normally someone has a terrible game, they're at like 100, 150. Oh, I got a terrible game. How much? 225. Fourth quarter now, 31-21. Michael Penix Jr., Purple God, the Purple Sun God. The Minnesota Vikings select Michael Penix Jr. Incomplete. Natural transition from purple to purple. Like, yeah, it'll stay same in your brain, and you don't have to think anything different. Like him on the Buccaneers and wearing that uniform, and you can't picture it in your head. But then all of a sudden, you can imagine him throwing passes to Jetta, Hawkinson, Addison. You're like, oh, you know what? That will look good. Ringmaster, Stone Cold Steve Austin. 4th down and 10. Kick is up. Good. Flag down. Going away. If you watched a lot of Texas and Washington, I mean, sometimes the writing's on the wall. It's like, you know what I need to do? I need to fucking shave my head, drink beer, and say, fuck you. He's like, well, you think that'll work? Yeah. And then it did. And not only that, one of the best in the world. I like old school wrestling shit a lot. Like, my football love is like at the very top, as everyone knows, with college and the NFL. But if I had to put something up there that has the same type of love, oh, it's definitely wrestling. It'll never, ever disappear. I might not watch shows as often as I used to, but I still collect, you know, the memorabilia and the figures, and, you know, look for old school shit. Like, when I get rich, it'd be cool to grab some, like, LJNs. I never owned any, but I've seen a lot of the old school people that are older than me that had those, and goddamn, they're worth a lot. But I never was old enough for those. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Ringmaster, you know, when he went through a lot of different, you know, nicknames, and Stunning Steve Austin, you know, going through, and then having to, you got to reinvent yourself. $1 Million Man belt, $1 Million Dream. And it's like, sometimes you got to have the look, the bald head and the goatee. It just worked, you know, because him bald and no goatee, it still doesn't look right. Like, it's like the image, of like Hunter kind of, not necessarily be redneck, but it's just that vibe. And you had to find that look, and hair wasn't going to do it. He never would have been that coming into that character if it wasn't for that. But there's a little bit of him in that person too, so that's what makes it good, because a little bit of that is him, even though he is a cool dude. I like the intensity though. Viewers, there we go. I'm kind of good too. Don't forget about me, O'Donnell. Michael Penix Jr. is a Washington Husky god. Whoop, whoop. I'm pretty good too, and I do like you too. I do like you too. Come on, Huskies! We already know the Huskies won. They're up by 13. The defense can't stop them. As long and if you're smart like DeBoer and the team is, they can continue to throw the ball at risk. And obviously they don't have the personnel to stop them, right? But you can start pounding the rock and bleed the clock and be smart about it. You're ahead. You're not going to give any chance for them to come back with Michael Penix Jr. pick sixes or bad throws that convert into opportunities for them. And that's where you get elite coaching. Where or they just keep throwing it. Maybe that might happen too. But I guess it just depends if they want Michael Penix Jr. to throw for like 500. Yeah. Hey, I'm the best quarterback in the draft. You think it's Drake May? You guys think it's Caleb Williams? But guess what? It's me. That was bad. Fumble party. Yeah, that was out. Well out. That shit was like floating in the air, bounced off his chest. Further review. %, yes. Because there's a lot of followers out there, not a lot of leaders. There's everyone that lives life is like great at something. It's either they recognize it or they don't, or you chase your dream, or the thing that you're really good at. The thing that you're really good at is the easiest thing for you to do that you're beast mode on. Like, just come naturally to you. And that's what you need to pursue in life, if you have that thing. But, with wrestlers, right? You can have this amazing theme song that's catchy, right? And then they can, it'll definitely make a wrestler more appealing. Like, look at Cody. Cody gets a lot more looks from the haters of him in AEW and WWF, Stardust, and the Rhodes family. But then, everyone loves to chant together and sing together. So if you can get someone that has the charisma of a Seth Rollins or a Cody Rhodes, and depending on if they're a face or a heel, the better the theme song, you can be kind of more mid wrestler. But if the theme song is lit, they're going to treat you like a fucking god or superstar. But if you have a shitty theme song and you're an amazing wrestler, they're not going to give two shits about you or take you for granted. There's a lot of people that I feel, there's a bunch that you can kind of go through, or maybe ones that could have had better music. But it also depends. Like, maybe their music is badass, but the crowd just doesn't feel them. It doesn't feel authentic, or their moveset is off, or maybe they just don't like that particular wrestler. I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers that are out there, vying for the love of from the fans and whatnot. So, but I definitely think so. But the theme song has to be good, but it also the wrestler has to match the vibe. So if they can connect and match the vibe, then you're going to have something like incredibly special. So you could be kind of like, not the greatest wrestler, like, maybe like average, but if you can talk on the mic really, really good, but you're not very good in the ring, but you're a 10 on the mic, you got an awesome intro, oh yeah, the fans are going to fucking love you. SAWFT, swap. Right? The music gets that crowd hyped, right? certified G bona fide stud. And you can't teach that. People love to do catchphrases. People love when people talk shit. People love being able to chant and vibe. And if they know a song, Judas with like Chris Jericho, you know the word. It's like the only song that in the wrestling community that people sing it word for word from beginning to end. The only one, right? So he gets a popularity from that, Fonzie and his band, and him being just Chris Jericho, which now might be, some kind of predator, but we'll find out if that's true or not. But he's a legend, Chris Jericho, right? But then you get Cody or Seth, or you get someone SAWFT song. And you might not be the best wrestlers by any bit, either one of them, right? Enzo and Big Cass, but you remember them, and they were fucking entertaining as shit. It's like wrestling skills. Enzo a 5, maybe a 4. Big Cass a little bit better, maybe like around an 8. He was kind of solid for a big dude, but he wasn't ever going to get a big push unless it was with Enzo. But on the mic, bananas on the mic. On a scale of 1 to 10, Enzo was a billion. I mean, fucking played that shit perfectly. I like entertaining, shit like that. Like, it'll connect with the crowd, but it has to be authentic. You can't pretend to be hip hop and then you're hip hop. Like, if that's who you are and it's authentic, then people will vibe with you because they know you're talking real. So, unless some kind of poser, if he was a poser, it wouldn't have worked. Going deep. Flag party. It is a flag party. Automatic first dad. Michael Penix Jr. just throwing that shit up there as high as he can. If you throw it up there for 10 seconds, eventually they'll get a penalty. Now JT's like, I don't have the ESP. I just have it on a different thing. But I think not JT is smart enough to have ESP moments. I mean, anyone that has to deal with a psychotic neighbor and doesn't go ham, I got respect for you. Some people would have not handled that situation the same way as you did. Oh, look at this trickery! Michael Penix Jr., run! Bro, when he's going away from his body, he's throwing for like 45 yards with accuracy. Yeah, ESP. And let's go. All the ESPN. Second down and 10. Penix Jr. Nice tackle by Texas. Third down and 10. Oh, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, happy holiday, happy New Year, 2024. Gonna be a good year in 2024. Trips left, look at this fucking formation. Bumper club. Michael Penix Jr. Oh my God. Right there, check down. Oh, he got blasted. Master blaster. Okay. Shout out to all the people that subbed today. We got some more. That's good. So it's like sometimes, you just got to be patient and then, then blessings happen. So what do we need now? We got 2 more subs within the last few minutes, which is good. Thank you to those people that did that within the last 30 minutes or so. 17 to go to 20,200. That's we're getting there. 17 more. That's doable. That's coming soon. I need to get some more photos for Cyberpunk to be still in the room. Hopefully he is. Over 2,500 on that. I think we peaked at like 76 people in the room, which was good. I like that. Yeah, there's some good wide receivers. I need to do some more research on some of the names that are lower to kind of go through those. So. Yeah, that's a good list. Cyber, what would you like? I need to find some more ring mops. Hold on. Obviously, some will be, not as good quality, obviously. And then I'll even go into the stunning side, going on that side if we're still on that. They're all like grouped together and whatnot. Lady Blossom, you don't say. I got a really, really good one. You guys will trip when you see this shit. You might recognize these two guys. Seen these guys before? Recognize them? Yeah, that's what I need. I need some recommendations. Look how young he is. It's wild. Tall, dangerously. Oh, Heyman. All right, Ewers, your turn. Anything else, Cyber, that you want to see, brother? You let me know. All right, 34-21 Huskies. Let's see if Ewers can bounce back. They're going to need it here. Handoff. Gain of about 4 up the gut. Getting a little chippy out there with the Huskies. He's like, wow, Michael Penix Jr. is the real deal. Didn't watch any Washington games, but I was like, damn. What's new in your life? You got any recommendations for me? Cyberpunk, TV, video games, any type of recommendation or something cool I should check out? False start. That's not the way for Texas to get back in the game. But I thank you and I appreciate you because we didn't hit the goal on the first one that I did, and I would have been sitting in here for like 8 hours pretty much straight. So it's always good when you can feel love and appreciate it. No one wants to go 8 hours in a stream and be at a minimal number. So thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, Mike. Nice catch. First down, Longhorns. Looking forward to Lillard making a name for himself in the playoffs. Yeah, why not? Why not root for someone like him on that team? Unless you're just only Blazers, and people are like, fuck him, he no longer on the team. Fuck him. Doesn't matter what you did for him. Fuck him. Well, then you know what? Time is a Husky sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. It's just crazy how fans can turn on a player so quickly. You know what I mean? I can give you everything. Survive and take care of people and this and that, and then all of a sudden it's like enemy. after he did like 10 years of really, really good, good-natured things, and then all of a sudden one thing, and then you're dead to me. I guess sports fans are pretty ruthless. I like you or I hate you. It could happen overnight. 2nd down and 13, shotgun set, Ewers. I like Ewers' mechanics. It's very NFL ready. I feel the way, like some quarterbacks, when you watch them, it just looks fucked up and off. Like Easton Stick shit. He's the fumbles killed ya. Plus, also too, I'm trying to get like more things for Paisley to take care of her, like Petco Lab and certain things for like to clean her teeth. I want to make sure that she doesn't have problems. Take advantage of that like sooner than later. It is kind of crazy. It costs so much. It's like $35 a month for this little small ass store where you do powder on their food and it helps them with their teeth. It's like there's no way Paisley would let me brush her teeth. Not a chance in hell. We have a very good vibe and we're very close. And I'm the dog father, but any animal, it's very difficult. Cat, dog, they probably don't want you touching their mouth. 3rd down and 5, 34-21 Huskies. Saban retires. Who's the Bama next head coach? I don't know. It'd have to be someone that's like him, like Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh in Alabama would freaking destroy. He can recruit just as good as Saban. And then if he's got the Saban pipeline and it's him, it's game over. Nothing changes. Domination. Floater. First down. Xavier Worthy. Son of James Worthy. Big Game James. There's your son. No, I don't think it is his son. There's not a lot of Worthies out there. It would be funny if it was actually James Worthy's son, but I don't think it is. First down and 10. Xavier Worthy. My cousin's brother's cousin, baby mama, cousin, James Worthy. Big Game James, like this. He terrorized the Blazers. He was good. I'll check that. I like him too. NFL. I have good memories of Texas. I rooted for Texas when they, I had Ricky Williams, and he was running around all crazy, Heisman status. That was fun. Like, I don't have to be a Texas fan, but when he was there, he made college football fun for that team. So. I think the Bears move on from Fields. Well, based on what you've seen as of late, it's leaning more towards no. Plus, it's like, do you really want to start over? Like, why not get the best offensive lineman and get the best defensive player, or the best offensive lineman in Marvin Harrison Jr. And then, figure out what you're going to do with the O-line and the defense, because that needs a hell of a lot of work. But if it's me, I don't know if I necessarily, because like he has some skill set, but they have to have the right coaching and play calling. So I feel with Justin Fields, my overall vibe of him is slightly more positive than negative. Because normally, if I feel like he's a 4 rather than a 6 or a 7, he's not an 8, 9, or 10 yet. But I feel that like with a couple improvements and tweaks of his game, coaching, adding O-line and defense, then maybe Justin Fields could be a guy. But I don't think he's a guy yet. But he has flashes of being a guy. A primetime guy. So I think you have to base on how he's playing late and overall in the season. So I would say they have been shitty, but he missed some time. But I think if you're watching him as of late, that you could probably hang on to him. It's not like get rid of him, because we're not really sure about these quarterbacks. Remember, you get 8 that go in the draft. 2 are going to make it. 2 are going to be above average. 2 are going to fail. And 2 are going to have to wait until they go to their secondary team 4 or 5 years later. Hopefully they're still in the league. So, it's not like everyone is going to do that. So, I kept telling people that I was going to turn it off. I told him. Touchdown, Texas. Yeah, I only want it during commercials. This guy's kind of good. Look at this. Back shoulder, jumping up when he didn't need to for style points. Look at me, jumping in the air, double pump. I caught it. Ooh, baby. That was cool. He did it like a basketball player. Touchdown, Longhorns, and making it a game. 34-28. What did I say? 38-35? Matt Payne says I'm glued to the game, which is lies. It's not even on. You have me on your phone, and on your computer is Taylor Swift. Oh, bro. And I'm in the fantasy championship right against Reflect. And I decided to be an idiot. And I played Baker, Rashad White, and I had the kicker. So 3 out of my 9 spots, and I had all red, so I just like screwed myself even more. And I just thought, if the Browns can win at home and take advantage of the Jets and a good defense, why not the Buccaneers? All you got to do is beat the Saints, and you're in the playoffs. If you're not motivated for that, then you're not the guy. And then we get our ass kicked, and it was like literally one of the top 5 worst games I've ever watched. I literally wanted to jam my eyeballs with my thumbs. Like it was terrible, terrible for me in fantasy and terrible in the game. But what we have to do is beat the Panthers on the road, which is like the worst team in football, right? And then we're in the playoffs. But I don't want to be. I'd rather go Saints, Falcons, Bucks, third place schedule, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Michael Penix Jr. So he said, "It's true, oh dog. I'm glued to the game." This is Matt Payton glued to the game, looking at old school photos of Taylor Swift when she was prettier with longer hair. She's on a boat. She got longer hair, prettier. That's what Matt Payton. I'm watching the game. Sure you are. You're watching this. You're welcome. That is, yeah, boom. Hell, I mean, we have so many holes and so many problems. We're not a good team, even if we get in at 9-8. But every once in a while, Baker, Rashad White, and Evans go off, and Godwin, and then the defense steps up. But sometimes the defense is like non-existent; they're not even there, and it's just like the other team completes everything: short passes, medium passes, long passes, short runs, medium runs, long runs, and it's just like it gets to a point where it's like you almost want to turn the fucking game off. But that's how I felt at watching the Saints beat the shit out of them. I mean, I beat them in the 4th game of the season on the road. We beat the shit out of them something like 31-9 or something. I thought, fuck, we're going to beat the shit out of them again. Saints aren't very good this year. And then the defense decided to play the game of their life. And Carr actually looked really good. And, yeah, that one sucked. Yeah, I bet Mahomes is looking at the receivers. I can't wait for them to get 2 badass receivers or to get like a Mike Evans and a badass rookie receiver. Like how much that's going to improve the offense, and then just depending on if they move off the OC or not, but just to be able to get consistent pieces, being able to make Pat look good. But also Pat has had some bad throws too. I mean, I got him in fantasy, and sometimes I got to bench him because I can't trust him. I have to be able to trust that you can get to 2 or more, but a lot of the games, it's like 1, and they're going run heavy, kind of taking it out of Pat's hands. If he's turnover prone, but we have to get back to Pat being the guy that throws for 3, 4, or 5. So that way they can get back to the Super Bowl and be dominant again. You don't want to waste Kelsey before he runs off and gets married with Taylor with two babies. Screen pass. Texas momentum starting to shift. Chief Whale Chief in the building. A Chief fan in the building, another Chief fan in the building. Happy New Year's, Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's 2024. Shout out to all the people that are watching on Twitter/X. Spying on me. 34-28 Huskies. Chief is in the building. What's good? Brother. Chief. Happy New Year. I've been busy today. Hi, Paisley. She's like, Daddy. Paisley's like, Dad, hurry up. I need a walk, damn it. Like, what you doing this goddamn YouTube? Because I gotta buy your damn greenies that cost like fucking $20 for 8 pieces. That shit is expensive. I'm almost done. Like, Dad, I need another walk. What's good, Chief? What's good in your life? What shows that you got to recommend for me? Have you been watching any Ancient Alien stuff? And also, too, I don't know if I saw you when you were in the room or whatever, but bro, like the whole UFO jump off, bro. I ended up seeing something in the sky about a week ago for the first time in my life, like some real ancient alien shit. Oh, baby McMillan, first down, Huskies. I mean, it was really far up in the sky, but for what I saw, the color of the blue light, and then how fast it shifted from one location to the next part in the sky was literally nothing that was from this earth. Like nothing could go that fast. Like I know how planes and things move in the sky and the trajectory, and I have never seen anything go from one spot to another spot to another spot and disappear like that in my life. So, your boy is a star child. Just want to let you know. And then I asked my dad if he has had an experience, and my dad is like Santa Claus, very low key and just kind of quiet. And he said he had an experience about 8 years ago, like 8, 10 years ago, in the backyard. There's a lot of property up there during like a meteor shower type of time period. For real. Yeah. Like and my dad, never uses words like I was terrified, before. Like my that's not my dad's personality. Like I'm like, more intense and passionate and loud. He's kind of like the low key, super intelligent, retired teacher that taught for like 40 years, loves the Dodgers and loves horror and um, collectibles and shit like that. But I don't think I've ever heard him use terrified before. So, and for my dad to say that, my dad is not the type to lie, and neither am I. But to be able to see something that you can't explain, and then have my dad who never says the word terrified say something like that, that was a kind of like seeing something in the sky, right? And then you see the stars, and then something covers the stars, so it's there, and then all of a sudden the thing passes, and then the stars appear again. So if you're seeing something move in the sky that's blocking the stars, then obviously, and it also depends on how close it was to you. Some ancient alien shit happened out here in Oregon, bro. You want to come out here and eat some amazing seafood, play some arcade games? You know, I ended up doing that before I ended up going to the Blazer game, and me and my buddy beat like a Ninja Turtle arcade game. Awesome. They have this Time Crisis 5 game, Chief. I think you would like. It's got pedals, so it's like the Time Crisis, shooter game that they had in the arcade. But this one's got like 50-inch screens. It looks like it's a $10,000 arcade machine, and then with the gun, you got pedals to go left and right, and then you get a whole other angle when you're doing the arcade game all fast. It's awesome, but you have to be able to move your pedals with your feet. It's like intense, bro. I told my buddy we went through like halfway through the game, and I was like, we should probably like spend more time like drinking or smoking, and then like we can play. So Michael Penix Jr. 34-28 Huskies. But I hope everyone's having a. Is that good? And what did I say? He was going to be the best player. Like you look at all these players: Blake Corum, JJ McCarthy, Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers. But at the end of the day, who's the one that's going to be balling? Dun, 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 balling. Yes, you either recognize the greatness or you don't. But my dad, and like I said, it's like I think it's just I think it's certain people are connected. So, bro, you have no idea. You wouldn't even go back home. They'd be like, "Where's Chief? It's fucking Thanksgiving. Oh, he's in Oregon, living his best life. Fucking nature. You want to go suburb area. You want to go look around at some things. It's hard for me to imagine myself living anywhere else, to be honest. Like if it didn't have all these like things, then it's like, yeah, maybe I could. But Penix Jr. getting the blitz. Look at him run. Incomplete. I love lefties. My favorite. He could end up being the best out of the whole entire draft. No one is saying that though. But watch now, people are like, "Oh, I've been saying it all along. Michael Penix Jr. is the best quarterback in college football." That'll be like, Stephen A. That's what he'll do. And then people just are like, "Okay." I hate when people are fake like that. Don't be on the fake bandwagon if you weren't there. Just watching TV and have your eyes open doesn't make you like, oh, you realize some like brilliant thing. Oh, I had a brilliant idea. Michael Penix Jr. has been the best from the beginning, and it's good. I like to look at the man, and I like to look at like his family. Are they close? Is he really care? Is he a team guy or a me guy? And when you check off all the boxes, and the only thing that is against him is injuries. So as long as he doesn't have the Greg Oden syndrome, this guy will be like a star. Like it's either you see it or you don't. And then as he continues to do it against better and better competition, then finally people are like, oh, I guess he is good. You know, like the Pac-12 actually was like the best conference this year. So for him to fuck up everybody, that was already saying something in itself. Now he's got to fuck up Texas and try to fuck up Michigan and then wins it all. And then he becomes a fucking lefty god. Boom. And you heard it here first. But there's fun things to do, like there's Voodoo Donut, and then there's like Arcade Place. It's 2 stories. Played a Ninja Turtle pinball game, and I never played pinball, but if I see it's like something cool, like Turtles or GI Joe or like something vintage or Goonies or something or a Terminator 2 machine, and it fucking talks to me in like Arnold voice or Predator. Oh yeah, I'm fucking playing that shit. And it's like you're always gonna die, but if you know the secrets when you like hold the flippers in, and then the ball rests on the flipper, and then bang, and then you get it into the sweet spot, and then ding, 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 all the points. That's where it's at. And they had a pretty cool Star Wars machine. Hydro Thunder is probably one of my favorite games at the arcade, the newer one. So when you have like the shifter and then the pedals, and then you're just like on a hover boat, it's racing. A lot of the arcades in your hometown might have something like that. I like games. I like the games where it feels like you're on a boat and then you're doing the racing and going off the ramps like the Hydro Thunder. Stephen A will shot the Bamalos. Well, Stephen A is a dummy. Like you're just a sports personality. You don't actually take sports serious. You just like to scream and yell. And America loves people that are fake and that are ignorant. So if you're fake and you're ignorant, and then people are just like, no normal person is going to sit there and be like, yeah, Stephen A is my favorite, and I listen to him every day. If someone says that to you, run away, okay? Because that is someone that doesn't have a brain. No one on planet Earth has ever said Stephen A is my favorite out of everyone on planet Earth. Not one damn person. He said, "Give me your final take, sucker." No, from what I was reading, is that Dan Campbell already met up with all the referees and it went down a full breakdown with paper and diagram and telling them verbal, like, this is the play that we're going to do, right? And then you see it in a film where the referee acknowledges the one guy, and you can say, oh, blatant mistake. Normally, two guys don't come up like that. One guy reports, one guy doesn't, and all this. But once it counted and then it didn't, you should have just took the extra point. So him being greedy. And if you have something emotional happen to you, a breakup, you get a flat tire, someone does something fucked up to you, right? And then 5 seconds later, are you going to be in the right frame of mind to be able to get something fucking done besides punching a fucking hole in the wall or yelling? No. So then if you're not mentally there, you're not going to get the 2 point conversion the second time, the third time, or the fourth time. It's hard enough to get it once. So it's either you're smart or you're stupid. So hard to say if the refs are in on some kind of like gambling thing, if they blatantly did that or decided to act like they, saw something when they didn't. Sometimes with referees, you don't really know, especially with the gambling and the spreads. And if they have a gambling problem, like do they, if they're the lead referee, do they just say, fucking, this is my call. Shut the fuck up. I need the money, and then some questionable bullshit happens like that. And what are you saying? One team is mad, and at the end of the game, everyone runs away. Interviews are bad, and then you go from there. Yeah, but he felt that the defense sucks. That they were gonna easily. Um, but I don't know. I mean, like, you're not going to get that to go through, but I think he thought that Aubrey, the number one picker, was so good that if they had 23 seconds, they just throw a Hail Mary, CD catches it, or they get PI, boom, Aubrey, they win. So that to him, that was the only way that he was going to get a dub, is that if he went like fucking Chip Kelly on crack or Dan Lanning on a regular, yeah, and just did some crazy shit like that. But imagine if they did that in the playoffs. This whole Detroit Lions love party for biting kneecaps and Dan Campbell is like the meathead dude that we like. Everything would have went down the drain if that was a playoff game. Can you imagine? I don't even think you can recover from that. Like, you go for it for two, you go for it for two, you go for it for two, and then you lose. Like NFC Championship game ending, that game happened. You're done. Even if it was in the first round, the wild card, people would lose their shit. I mean, I predicted Washington and Michigan, so I'm not going to be right all the time, but I was right today, mother sucker. Um, my personal feeling, I want Washington because I want to represent the Pac-12, and I like Michael Penix Jr. But what I do realize is Michigan is the best team. So if Michigan just plays like they did against Bama, they're going to win. But it would be cool for Michael Penix Jr. to get a natty himself and for him to have a good game. But if he ends up throwing for some insane number like 400 yards and they lose, but he gets 400 yards on Michigan, like, it's still going to be like a win for him in the draft status and people viewing him as like a lefty god. Because if you can go for 300 or 400 yards on Michigan and let's say they lose by 3, he's still going to be viewed. It's not going to be the same as Washington winning it all, but it's still going to make people think like, oh my God, damn, he had 4 touchdowns and 350 yards on Michigan and they only lost by 3. Like, people will, that'll be a huge thing. So we'll see where it goes. But Washington's defense, it plays in spurts. I've watched every game of them, and they're good. But again, Michigan player for player, has probably got a little bit of an edge, except for Michael Penix Jr. Um, and obviously with the receivers, I would go with Washington's receivers as well. Blake Corum, better running back on Michigan. Offensive line, Michigan, and then defense, Michigan. Special teams, probably Washington, and then coaching. Um, I mean, what can you say? I mean, DeBoa is awesome. The staff, collectively, to be honest, I know this is going to sound weird, but collectively, this year, maybe this year only, the Washington staff collectively, with all their assistants and coaches together with DeBoer, are actually on the Harbaugh level. So if you actually want to be like, oh, Harbaugh, easily coach, but if you actually look at how Washington has manufactured their wins and beaten Oregon by 3 twice, like I would say that Washington's coaching staff is right up there, even with, so there is no advantage. Harbaugh is not going to out scheme you. If anything, Washington might be able to out scheme them. And then if they get sloppy, Michigan does, then this upcoming natty, like they did in Alabama, Washington could take advantage. It's possible. So that's my take on those things. I feel that not everyone will agree with me, but I think you can consider what I'm saying, you know. But I feel I try to give the most like realist, genuine opinions of trying to pretend to be in someone else's shoes and just being real and authentic and giving you that point of view, instead of just being like, oh, I only like it this way or that way. You got to be able to, have the empathy and the sympathy. And once you can kind of deep dive on what you think a coach is thinking, or that's where all my ESP comes from. It's connections with the people. I don't need to know them. Give me a little bit of their background and I'll figure it out on my own. Field goal up, field goal good. 37-31 Huskies. I said 38-35. Washington. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Remember, this is important. Mental health. Okay? You only got one. Ask for help. Do the things on your checklist to make your day a success. Get outside. Eat less fast food. Listen to music. Talk to friends. Boom shakalaka. Get a pet if you don't got one. Change your life. Paisley has changed my life. I mean, shit. I lost 70 pounds since COVID. I don't really, drink as heavy as I used to. I'm eating a hell of a lot less bad things. I still like to go to Flavortown though, but you got to have the discipline. You have a discipline, you can do it. Steichen and AR, amazing. Look how good the Eagles are doing without Steichen and without Gannon. Tell me if you think that the Eagles look like they're going to win a Super Bowl or if they're actually going to win a playoff game or do anything. They went from being the hottest team on planet Earth to a disaster in like a month and a half. So you let me know if you think coaching doesn't matter. Coaching does matter. Coaching matters more than the players sometimes. It really does, because you can have an all-star team of players, but if you don't have good leadership or discipline or instruction, you're just going to be a bunch of talented fuck-up idiots, that fuck up too much, with no discipline, right? You have to have a, Daniel-san and a Mr. Miyagi, right? You have to wax on, wax off. You have to have a discipline. Oh, shit, you're playing Madden with who? The Chiefs. That's what happens though. Chiefs fans are so upset with the Chiefs, they don't even play themselves with the Chiefs anymore. They're like, fuck this, right? Kadarius Toney, they just manually cut him immediately. He's still like on the roster. Like, nope, not Madden, bitch ass. But it's all good. Yeah, Steichen is amazing. It's a good fit, and you still need a lot of help. Offensive line needs a retooling. Need more talented wide receivers and tight ends. A little bit of depth behind Taylor if you can find someone young and new, a rookie. Defense, needs a facelift as well. There's pieces, but getting rid of Darius, Shaq Leonard back issue. He never was going to be good again. Good riddance, goodbye. And then you still got Buckner, and there's still pieces there, but not enough to be consistent to be the top dog in the AFC South every year. Who's winning the AFC South? The Colts. It's not there yet. But there's pieces, and obviously, I treat the Colts as if they were my own, and Obviously, if I'm lying, then it'd be very easy to call me out. So that's why we don't see any of those messages in the chat. But you don't know what you're talking about, but I do. 37-31. Is Antonio Pierce state coach for the Raiders? Raiders. Well, I don't know, because anyone that has a haircut that looks like Dumb and Dumber, I'm not sure if I trust his intelligence or his decision making. But if I was friends with him and I was talking to him, I'd said, you know what, with all the shit that you got going on, if it was me, I would say, let this guy have the coaching job for like 2 years. Give him 2 years, and let's see if he can make the playoffs in 2 years. And then, if not, you want to go in a different direction, fine. But if it was me, I like him. But you're in a tough division, so you have to realize that the Chargers are always going to get injured and fuck up, so they kind of, sabotage themselves. So, Broncos are in a facelift rebuild, so sometimes they're going to be good, sometimes they're going to be mid, sometimes they're going to be terrible, right? And then the Chiefs are going to be the top dog no matter what, even when they're bad. They'll, at the very worst, they're going to be 9-8 or 10-7, and that's if they have injuries or Mahomes misses a month, or something like that. So that's how it's going to be. So there's going to be room for them to actually like get to the second place team, but it starts at a good coach. And I haven't seen enough, but from the brief, what we've seen in like the month, I feel that I would give him the job, and that's saying a lot. Sometimes I like him and Bowles, and sometimes I hate him. Sometimes too aggressive. You can only play like that if you have personnel. I mean, if you've ever watched a Buccaneers game, Eddie, you've seen sometimes we look awesome. Like, holy shit, the Buccaneers, like no Tom Brady, but like this team, sometimes looks like a top 10 team, something like that, right? Ryan in the building, Randy in the building, Preston in the building, Chief in the building. I mean, if I could fire Todd Bowles, who would be my number one hire? If I had to go that route, it would be Kyle Shanahan 1, Sean McVay 2, and then probably Mike Tomlin 3, and then Mike McDaniel 4. I think that's probably where I would go. Those are the guys that I would want, because I know that I would be able to win with them. McVay and McDaniel, but really McVay and Shanahan, it's just the intelligence. I do like Dan Campbell still, even though everyone jumped off the Dan Campbell thing. I still like him a lot. I think that people make mistakes, and you paid the price, and hopefully you'll learn from that, and you'll never do that dumb shit again. So I know, Paisley. Daddy's almost done. Daddy's almost done, baby. The Buccaneer, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a love-hate relationship, with the organization, with the coaches, because like sometimes that like the NFC South, it just sucks ass. So it's kind of be probably the Saints or the Bucks. So it's like you're going to be there. But for me, it's like I'm like an all-star guy. I'm a Derek Brooks guy. I'm a Sapp guy. I'm a Simeon Rice. I'm a Rondé Barber Lynch guy. So it's like the Brady era was nice and whatnot, but it's like it was so unexpected. So I'm not really, I don't know. If they decided to do a facelift, I would be cool with it, but only if it was like one of those top guys. I'd want Shanahan. He ain't going nowhere. McVay on the Bucks would be fucking insane. I would love that. That'd be insane. Trying to think, Mike Tomlin, he keeps having these, above 500 seasons to make him look like a fucking coaching god. And the reason that I want Mike Tomlin, and he would be as high as maybe even number one, because obviously I can't have Shanahan, and I can't have McVay, and I can't have Mike McDaniel and whatnot, right? Dan Campbell, those guys are all there. But I think that, that type of style is special. So we can't call the play because someone is on the ground laying there injured. You're too demanding, man. You know that? You're a demanding person. You. Demand dog. What do we do with demand dog, Sarah? I'm almost done. Play by play. Dylan Johnson, wheezing with pain. Injured. Hopefully he's not out for the year. If he's out for the year, Washington's chances of beating Michigan probably just went down the toilet. I'm almost done, Paisley. My name's Andrew. All I do is demand shit in life. I need to be better in 2024. Apparently, I didn't learn my lesson. Be better, Andrew. Even my dog don't like you. She looking the other way. She looking towards the green screen. Don't even want to look at your ass. 37-31, Washington. $45 seconds left. My dog is like, God damn, you be doing 2 games back to back? No rest? Catch, interference from that bitch ass. First down. Oh boy, just wants me to continue to talk nonstop for 4 hours for free. Let's go, baby. Everybody, don't be like Andrew. All right, 45 seconds left. Don't be like Andrew. 37-31. Shotgun set for Quinn Ewers. Man in motion. Trips right. Shotgun set. Flick of the wrist to a receiver that wasn't looking. Incomplete. Second down and 10. 37-31. Don't be like Andrew. 41 seconds left. Washington's got to hang on. Shotgun set. Right down the middle. Incomplete. Sounds like what you need to do, Andrew, is not be here. What you need to do is you need to be on a streaming site watching the game. That's what you need to be doing. Yeah, you asking way too much information, too much questions. Yeah, you need to actually be watching the game. You shouldn't be here, bro. Your chat etiquette is like at a negative 100. Yeah, you need to go and watch the game. And then all of a sudden, if you don't, then I just won't tell you what's happening in the game. I'll just sit here. What's happening in the game? Fuck, I know. I'm watching it, but you ain't. Oh, baby, what a catch! Oh, baby. 37-31. What a catch. That was incredible. Oh, incomplete. He told you. He said Thailand. Twitter Thailand. He's from Twitterville. Thailand. A demanding dog. In the wrong place, dog. Needs to go somewhere else and watch the game on a link, dog. Confused dog. Lost dog. 37-31 Huskies. 20 seconds left. Gosh, that injury on Dylan Johnson didn't look good. I'm almost done, Paisley. I know. I promise. Almost done. I'm almost done. So lay down. All right, I'm almost done. Lay down over here. I hope you're staying there. Stop. Come here. Come here. I know. It looked career ending. I mean, it looked bad, right? So, I mean that. I mean, if you don't have Dylan Johnson, I don't know if you can, compete with Michigan. There you go. Good girl. Stay over here. Good girl. 37-31, Huskies. Second down and 10. Trips left. Shotgun set. Ewers pressure in the edges. Paisley's irritated. Sideline. I know, Paisley. It's exciting, huh? I know. I know. I know. Dad's almost done, okay? I know. Dad working like this is insane. And we're going to go for a walk. And I'll give you some blueberries and strawberries. Mrs. Dad. Did he have control when that foot tapped down? Yeah, the grimacing in pain didn't look good. What would you predict that injury was when you saw it? Your medical diagnosis from what you saw on the television at your house. What part of the did you think that was the worst? Terrible. You never want any players to get hurt, let alone, like stud running backs, stud quarterbacks, stud wide receivers. That's the worst. Or you just got to hope that you have a good second and third string that can at least hang a little bit or get close to that. First down, Texas. Oh, wow. Look at this. Huskies have to not give up a touchdown. I was asking you. That's why I didn't know because it was more of like a pile. And I was gonna say if there was anyone that had an idea, I was too busy dealing with someone that was lost. Yeah, this is not good. They're way close. And if they get a touchdown, they win. Like not a good situation to be in. Even if you have an elite defense. Do they just release it? You got to watch out for Mitchell. Shotgun set, first down and 10. Screen pass, Ewers, out of bounds. Down to 11, 10. Andrew, you're still here? Bro, you are lost. Not a good position here for Washington. Second down and 11. U.S. incomplete. Oh my! I mean, if you can win with defense, it means a hell of a lot more. No, bro, no, bro. 37-31, Washington hanging on by a thread. Everyone is praying and hoping for the best. 5 seconds left. Third down and 11. Shotgun set, 4 wide. Pressure off the edge. Ewers. 1 second left. Is it over? They're going to give him 1 more second. Let's go! One second. Oh, baby. If you win with the defense, and it's a final Washington Huskies 37, Texas Longhorns 31. They survive and make it to the Natty. Ewers, floater, incomplete, baby. Woo, baby. I know. Yes. To win on defense like that when you should probably lose is insane. My dog needs me to take her for a walk. It's way too late. She probably needs to pee and poop and is mad at me. So I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Huskies, baby. They got it done. Me and Sarah's prediction was correct. I said 38-35, 37-31, Washington. You're going to the Natty. Let's go. Awesome. Well, thank you to everyone that commented, shared. Shout out to the people on Twitter/X, as well as Cyberpunk for being the MVP. Sarah, I appreciate you, as well as everyone else in the room. And I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll grind it out. And it was a long, long day. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.